Welcome back, everyone, to another session of Crituitous RP. Thank you so much for joining us today. Before we get started, let's go through and welcome our newest followers, our new family members. So, a big shout out and thank you to Extramentus, Killer Pig, King of the Feed, Misadventurers League, Authority, Ramblin' Breck 69, Counterjab, Sunflower Gaming, and Demonisk. Thank you very much for each of you guys for following us. Please keep it up. Share us with all of your friends. Get everyone else following us because we like to see each name and every group. If you like what we do, you can follow us on Twitter. We are at Crituitous RP. You can follow us along on our Tumblr, which is crituitousrp.tumblr.com. And if you like, you can support us over at patreon.com/Teovant. All right, so last session, which was 2 weeks ago, our heroes had the fight with Belcorge, the Beholder. And that went well. No one died, which is good. People almost did, but were saved by party members. So everyone worked together. We're one big happy family, right? Right? Good. So, exploring more of the dungeon, they have 3 of the 5 keys that they need. They know that there is a key per level. Once they get all 5 keys, they can then access the final level, the final room that has the Soulmonger in it. So they're so close, 3/5 of the way, right? Should be no time. Last week we ended the session right? After you're on the home stretch, over the hump, on the road down. So we encountered a room with a Tyrannosaurus Rex and a whole bunch of traps that had apparently no purpose to them except to be distractions and traps. And some of the party members fell prey to some of them. Others didn't. Now we find ourselves still in the level 4 of the Tomb of the 9 Gods. But our heroes have just caught sight down a set of stairs. There is a single sarcophagus inside the center of a very large chamber, much larger than any of the other sarcophagus rooms that they've seen to date. And inside this, what looks like a little purple box is actually an ever-changing, color-changing sarcophagus. Every second it changes and it rotates through its different colors. It's black, blue, gold, green, purple, and red. And it rotates in that order, just over and over again, enough that the party can easily figure out and remember the order. Black, blue, green, gold. No, I even got it wrong there. Black, blue, gold, green, purple, red. Okay. But that's inside the sarcophagus. But that tomb is at the end of a staircase, of which has a treasure chest at the bottom, a precariously placed treasure chest. The chest clearly has a big iron lock built into it. What would you guys like to do?
Well, first, Howard's going to approach Carmen, who just got blasted by a fireball. Yeah, we're all on the floor.
A 16d6 worth of fireball, right?
There's a multiple fireballs that blew up from a necklace.
Yes. Yeah, so we're all a little bit beat up at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm on 1 hit point.
Carmen, are you okay?
No!
And then cast a 3rd level healing word on her. That's all I've got. So,
Are you sure? Because I can sort myself out. I'm okay. I can sort myself out.
no, but he's concerned for you, so he
Okay.
where's my... Are you going to come up? No? All right.
It didn't pop up,
It
did it?
didn't roll up, so I'm just going to go roll. 3d4 plus 4, 5, that's my wisdom. 15.
Thank you.
Piju,
Is everybody else okay? What happened?
that blasted fireball necklace that I thought was very fetching, it blew up as we crossed the threshold of this door.
I am determined to think this level is going to kill us. Or it's effectively everything has changed from the last 3 levels.
Avorine, your hair is still on fire. And it's smoldering a little bit. There's some smoke coming off. So like big gauntleted hand, like kind of put it out.
That's just the way her hair looks. It's those red curls.
Piju, I know you have that ghostly image that can heal us. Would it be asking too much for one of those at the moment?
I think I can work that out. So I'll cast a healing spirit once I can get to that spell sheet page. All right, healing spirit. Bam! Right. I'll cast it on where Carmen is, and we can all do our laps through it.
Okay. So everyone just starts conga lining through the healing spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Everyone can gain full benefits of what, 10d6?
Let me double check. It's 1d6. I think that's right. Yeah, because it's 1d6 per round, so 10d6.
FYI, if you want to make that spell really broken, throw in a couple levels of life cleric. That becomes 10d6 plus 45.
Oh yeah.
Good to know.
If only Danrick were still here.
Do you want us to roll separately? You just want one roll. Oh well.
Oh, that's a good roll.
We can take
I'll take Peach's roll.
What did I get? I didn't look at it yet.
Everyone
49.
Just roll for me.
Pijo can grant that because he's pretty well. He only needs like 20 hit points. I don't think that's how this works though. So.
Just roll your
You can take 49, including Averine. You can take the 49. Okay. So once everyone has spent a minute walking through it, everyone's regenerated,
Yay!
ready to keep going.
Let me update my D&D Beyond dongle too. Gotta remember that.
Quick shout out, D&D Beyond just recently released their extension for the Twitch integration. I believe it's working out. Not sure exactly how you integrate with it, but go ahead, click on stuff, check stuff out. It's great.
If you have any questions, just type them in chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So you're healed.
Good and ready to go.
So there's
What do you
on.
want to do? Yep.
Do you guys want me to go check it out first real quick? Come back, report?
Are you gonna touch the treasure chest like the last time you touched the treasure chest?
I'm not gonna touch anything yet.
Okay.
I want to see if, like, what's beyond.
D&D affirmed.
Heyo.
All right. So I'm assuming you're not going to go along the floor, right?
That's a good assumption.
Roll a perception check. And your passive is 21. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. So, perfect. As you're slithering over, you notice that at the very top there's actually a slightly altered portion of the ceiling, a circle, so to speak, which could be released to drop as a boulder that would block off the path right at the top of the stairs. And then you start paying attention and notice that the second to last step before the treasure chest is one big pressure plate. And you can figure that stepping on that step would trigger a boulder that would come down, roll, and hit the person in front of the chest.
So I learned my lesson from the other room with the checkerboard floor. I believe that if I smash some pitons into the release valve, that could potentially plug the hole.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna do
It seems
that.
to be built exactly the same way as the other one.
I'm gonna do that.
So you take your time. You're going to be running out of pitons soon.
I
Right?
haven't used any yet, but
No.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So you use maybe 4 to secure it each side. Okay. So that's secured. You guys don't have to worry about the boulder trap anymore.
What you
Hurrah.
doing down there, Zola? You're making a lot of noise.
It's a trap. I'm just plugging it up, so you guys don't have to worry about it.
We'll appreciate that.
Beyond the treasure chest, you can see a little bit more into the chamber beyond. You have 4 huge marble columns that support the ceiling of this grand chamber. This chamber is close to, or at least from your point of view, close to about 40, 50 foot high. Right?
Okay.
It is a big chamber. Doesn't really make sense because the elevation of where the level above should be, like from where you're currently sat, this
It
should
would
be
going into another room or something.
going into another tomb. So that doesn't make sense. But you've got the sarcophagus in the middle with the images of Unk all over it, changing color. Either side of that, grand staircase that leads up to a balcony. At the back of the balcony, where you should see a large block, just there, is actually what appears to be a carving in the form of a giant maze. As you're looking at it, it's just one of those big mazes like Uptower has done on so many things, but this one is huge. Okay. Now, all around the room in front of you, there are murals of huge Minotaur soldiers, each wielding great big weapons at the ready in defense of, or at least looking like they're in the defense of something. What do you want to do, Zola?
This chest that I'm hovering over, does it look? You said it's just an iron lock, so it looks pickable.
Looks pickable.
All right. How difficult? No, I don't know about that. Does it look like a sophisticated lock?
I'd say with your passive, not too difficult. If you have a set of thieves' tools, you can definitely. It's not going to be too difficult. Your average capability with a thieves' tools should usually be capable.
I've seen better. Okay.
Does it look like a mimic?
I don't think you
Yes.
can tell by looking.
Technically.
Everything looks like a mimic.
Give it a poke first.
I'm gonna go check out the rest of the room. When I come back, you guys can definitely give it a poke.
Well, do you think we can come down now?
This is as far as I have examined. I've got a couple more things I want to examine. I won't touch anything, promise.
I'm just afraid if you get too far, like we might be separated.
I have my dagger. If I can remember where you are, which I can, then I can return to you.
Be careful.
I will. You guys all just took a bunch of fireballs in the face, so if anything's gonna go off, I'd rather it go off on me.
Zola, which of the 9 gods do you have inside of you?
Moa.
Okay, cool. Cheers. Just checking.
What's up, Moa?
So-
You've been awfully quiet lately.
Moa has no thoughts.
Moa has no thoughts about this room.
Okay. I would like to very carefully begin to climb the wall up towards the ceiling, just to kind of like test the area there, because, like you said, it seems like it ought to be going into another room.
You can climb up to the ceiling and it feels absolutely real. You've encountered spaces that are extra dimensional to some degree before, and it just seems like that's what you've got right here. The rules of this room are all based around the idea of an extra dimensional space, not just natural behavior, but there's no illusion there. You can definitely climb up 50 foot to get to the ceiling.
Okay. Next, I'd like to check out the Minotaur paintings, just make sure that there are no mechanisms going on with it.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
That's 21.
You'll notice that each of the Minotaur images has a faint separation and a line that keeps the actual walls separated from the wall around them. Seems to be made of the same kind of stone, but they're definitely separated from the wall around them.
So is it like a block that goes back, or is it like a canvas painting that got hung?
It's a block.
It's a block. Okay. I will be careful not to touch those, slither around, and get here and just do the same thing with the maze. General trap checking.
The maze doesn't look trapped from where you are. However, while you're staring at it, you watch as the intricate carvings shift.
Oh boy.
The configuration of this maze is ever changing. The maze doesn't appear to have any exits, and its corridors, you can even see in this little map that there are corridors that have little tiny torches lit in them. I swear you can even see the light flickering a little bit in them.
Okay.
You effectively have a top-down view of a maze battle map that's constantly shifting.
Yeah. All right. I'll look over my shoulder and call that everybody's okay to enter the room, I think.
Okay.
Tara hasn't really paid attention to the plan because that's not what he does anymore, and has walked in anyway.
Everything looks good and fine. Everything looks normal. You guys are walking around.
What should we do
Pijo,
with this chest?
Your specialty being secret doors. You can confirm what Zola was able to tell. Each of these murals is actually a false wall.
All right. So let's. What's on the other side of the murals?
Are you going to start poking them?
Well, what? I think Pisha is gonna do it, but I would like to hear what Obolaka maybe has to say about that.
Why do you always have to poke stuff?
Things
Really?
need to be poked. What's the point?
No.
Well, I'm gonna poke one. Just one of
Poke?
them. Just one. Somebody else can poke another one. We'll share the poking. Everybody, let's poke the murals. I'm only allowed to poke one of them. Obolaka said.
Piju, we haven't even checked out this chest, which is like right in front of us.
Laszlo kicks it open. Our rogue said she secured the trap. Laszlo kicks it open.
Oh, but last time we had a screaming lady. Let's not have another screaming lady inside.
Yes, but she was not screaming until we put the different scepters in her hands.
Laszlo,
Opening it.
please be less careless with me right next to you.
Okay, so Laszlo kicks it. It's locked. If you're physically trying to break it open, roll an athletics check.
I kick the lock with my foot.
Because the lock is actually built in. It's not like breaking the lock off. Okay, you stub your toe, and that hurts.
2d10
So,
damage.
I kick it. Repeat. What kind? Is it made out of wood?
It is made out of wood, but it's got iron bindings and an iron lock itself. You just
How
try
heavy
and
is it? I pick
smash
it up.
the lock.
I pick it up.
Okay.
How heavy is it?
About 10, 20 kilos. Not much.
I pick it up and I chuck it into the room, hoping to break it open on impact.
Laszlo, that is very reckless.
It hits, shatters. You, those with high perceptions, 15 or higher, passive perceptions, will hear what sounds like the sound of metal bouncing a little bit, ringing, but everything is just wood splinters everywhere. You've broken the lock. There's nothing in it.
I don't believe that. Get the
I'm gonna-
laser.
It sounded like there was metal objects in it, but it didn't
Correct. Sounded like something metal fell out of it and started bouncing around, almost like, hypothetically speaking, like a key
an invisible
just hit.
object.
Yeah, an invisible key just started bouncing around.
Ah,
Did you hear that?
Is it shaped like a
Hypothetically
skeleton head?
speaking.
A skull.
very-
So since I heard that, I'll light up my lantern of revealing just real quick to check and make sure that something did or didn't fall out of that thing.
And
around.
on the floor next to let's pick a direction that it would have fallen. It fell at Avarine's feet. There is a small metal key.
Oh, what do we have here? I'll pick up the key.
Okay.
Put the lantern.
It's just a small iron key.
I will walk to the sarcophagus and see if it has a keyhole.
The sarcophagus, looking at it specifically, does actually have keyholes on it. It has one single keyhole, but it doesn't appear to penetrate all the way into. I like the goggles. It doesn't seem to penetrate all the way into the sarcophagus, and the keyhole is changing position every time the color of the sarcophagus also changes.
Huh.
So while the sarcophagus is black, the key is to one side. While the sarcophagus is red, it's on another point. Gold, another. And the change happens every 2 seconds or so. So there would be enough time for you to put a key into one of the keyholes and turn it if you wanted, but no real time to hesitate once you've done so.
And you described it as shallow?
Yeah, the keyhole doesn't seem to be... Like, the key is quite long. It's about 4 inches or so long. And, but the actual keyhole, you can see, isn't that deep. It's only maybe 2 inches or so. So it seems to an educated individual, those locks are not the right locks for this key. You can try it, but it might not work.
Hey, Averine.
The key.
Did you notice that there are 6? I think he said that there were 6 Minotaur things, and the sarcophagus is changing to 6 different colors.
There are actually 10 Minotaur murals.
Oh, okay.
Specifically, if Pijo keeps going around poking them, he'll reveal rooms behind them that are filled with nothing but bone. Behind
Just
every
bones, not like a monster end
Oh,
bone.
we sit in silence.
just bones. However,
Okay.
Pijo, you do notice that one of the holes actually has a tunnel behind it.
Guys, tunnel. Right here. Who wants to come with?
Tower, I'm sorry, what were you saying before?
Plaque.
The plaque. It said the maze holds the key.
And if there's a tunnel behind that room, then it could be an idea. But then the plaque also said that the army sleeps in silence, and if we've got a whole load of little rooms with a whole load of little bones, we don't want to be into another situation where a whole load of little dead things could come back to life. So we could go that way, but we would need to be really quiet, I imagine. I wouldn't want to, help those things rebuild themselves. And
Can't we just dispose of the bones before?
I don't know how you're going to with all those.
I don't know.
It's a lot
While
of
they're
bones.
having this conversation, Laszlo ignores them and is just examining the bones from one of the rooms to see if these are can I tell from the remains if they were ripped apart, if they died from being stabbed or beaten, if the bones are undisturbed as though they starved to death, roughly a cause of death, more or less, on the bones?
You can see evidence of these bones being damaged by weapons. Roll an investigation check. Some of these wounds, some of these breaks in the bones look almost like they were damaged by one weapon and then reformed. Damaged again and then reformed. and a cycle over and over.
So if everyone grabs a spine or two, then we should be good.
Well, we would have a bunch of spines. I don't know why we'd be good.
Well, they
Yeah.
wouldn't reform.
And we would not be spineless.
Hey, I like this new tower.
No.
He's funny. He reminds me of Yaka.
It's just
No,
the cleverness of the headband makes him very quick-witted.
Indeed.
I was always quick-witted.
Oh, Poppy, you weren't. It's okay.
No.
No.
Well, you recall a good thing that the key being in the maze and there being a maze before us, and the sarcophagus having a keyhole. It seems like that is the logical progression of our discoveries. So perhaps it warrants further investigation of this maze.
I assist.
I need Averine to explain and describe her investigations. In what way are you investigating? What methods will you be using?
So when you described it to Zola, you said that the maze was shifting. And you also said there was no exit.
Yeah. So unlike in other situations, Scuba Goomba, be quiet. FYI, Scuba Goomba is Pijo, so be quiet, Pijo.
I didn't say it.
So unlike the mazes that you've seen over on all of the Uptau statues, there's always been a definite point, a starting point almost, that looked clearly like an entrance, and then there was an exit, and you could put your finger through and just trail the line. This doesn't have an entrance or an exit. Doesn't seem to have that sort of entry point or exit point. So everything is constantly walls opening, closing, shifting, turning.
What you
Okay.
said there was flames on there? And what exactly are they doing?
Torches.
Is there a pattern to the flames?
It just looks like every corridor in the maze is well lit with torch sconces positioned all along it, like a maze that is well lit. But the way that they flicker and shift seems to suggest that they are almost real.
The changes in the maze, is it coinciding with the changes in color on the sarcophagus?
Every time the color changes, the maze shifts.
Just by chance, though.
Just by chance.
Okay, so I guess I would deduct that the clue says that the key is in the maze. There isn't an entrance and an exit to the maze. So the point in the maze isn't to get out of it, it's to find the key. I guess I would deduce that. Can I look at the maze and see where the key might be?
You don't see any key from where you stand.
Other than the shifting walls and torches, is there anything else that I see?
A light fog that rotates through the areas. Hello, Authority. Welcome to the chat. So yes, there is a fog that shifts through the maze that you can see, but nothing else.
All right. Well, it looks like we have to go into. Well, it looks like someone has to go into the maze to get and retrieve the key. We can all go.
But having entered the maze, how does one get out?
I am merely deducing that finding the key is that goal of the maze. So if you find the key, you have successfully navigated it.
How does one get into the maze?
Well, the challenges that we faced earlier in our adventures with Ubtau's mazes seemed to begin when we touched them. So perhaps there is that is how we initiate this particular challenge.
Because it's changing, I don't think that all of us should go. It might be one of those things where someone has to hang back and communicate the changes.
Oh, like it. Universe. If could I guess, if one of us were to go into the maze, would someone be on the outside be able to? Well, we can't see the key, so it doesn't matter. So, never mind.
Yeah, you can't see the keys from the outside, so you don't know whether or not someone outside the maze would be able to see someone that's in the maze, and vice versa.
I'm kind of thinking there's a correlation. There obviously is a correlation between the timings of the sarcophagus and the maze switching. So, and we have a key for the sarcophagus. It might be that once we plant the key in the sarcophagus, that it will freeze the maze or freeze the color. This is Ty thinking out loud. Sorry. Yes. So.
What he said.
What he said. Yes.
But with a voice this time.
Perhaps you may use your invisible key to control the maze, and whoever is using it, maybe this is a multi-part maze. Maybe the route, you need to go through all the colors to get to the correct route. You cannot do this at second intervals. We need to control it.
Brave Kubazan urges his host to inspect the maze carving and be the first one to touch it.
Brave
Just so
Kubazan sounds real
you don't have to. But Brave Kubazan right now is saying, go on, touch it. Go on,
Really?
touch it. Fickle Idjin, however, suggests waiting for the sarcophagus to turn gold before trying to open it. Gold is Idjin's favourite colour, by the way.
Which god have I got again?
I think you've got Idjin.
Oh, I have got Idjin. Fickle Idjin. I didn't realise.
What's Kubzan's favourite colour? I'm guessing Kubzan was green.
Why?
My god
green.
is...
It's a
My
frog.
god is telling me
Because he's a frog.
to start with gold.
Oh, really? Okay. Nah.
No. If you wish, Averin, I will use the key on the sarcophagus if we wish to do this.
I don't think this key goes to the sarcophagus.
No.
You guys, maybe we should check out the tunnel before we teleport or do anything stupid.
I agree.
Because
Well,
what if something bad comes
Let's
from
just
that
do
way?
psych.
I feel like the key is in the maze, and we're supposed to solve the maze for the sarcophagus. I don't think the tunnel.
Unless the sarcophagus is meant to aid us in entering the maze, and the trap was to prevent someone from entering from getting the key, but having had the key, the owner of the maze would have used it to open the sarcophagus to get an item that would be instrumental in getting through the maze.
You
Yeah.
I
lost
have
me.
no idea what you just said.
Go in the maze and get a different key. Yeah?
No, I am saying we have a key, we can use it, and then maybe it will give us something that will help us in the maze.
I don't think that's the... I want to touch it. I really want to touch it, but
Then touch it. Touch it.
I'm torn.
You are super strong and slightly green. Touch it.
I am.
Wise advice for the sages.
You're super strong.
Pija,
Touch it.
perhaps we should follow Pija and see what else lies in this secret room. It may
They're just-
have other things that we can use.
Such
don't
as
like-
traps that may kill us before we are able to open the sarcophagus.
Or
Oh,
bad
this is
monster
so
things that could
sexist.
kill us while we're in here, but we can suppress them.
Everything in this place is a trap. Let us just proceed.
Well, I'm gonna go. Oh, yeah, it's already opened up. I can see it. What is this?
This room that you have right now contains only one thing, a large wooden cabinet with a numbered dial at its top. It has two ornate metal spokes at angles to one another from the center of this dial, and beneath the dial is a pendulum that swings inside an open compartment, and at the very bottom of the pendulum is an egg-shaped stone. You have a grandfather clock in front of you.
Oh, okay. It's like I'm trying to visualize that. Okay. Are there any keyholes on it?
Roll a perception.
I will. The passive is 17. I don't know what that says, but
There is a keyhole that actually opens the where the pendulum swings. You know,
how
the
deep is
inside the grandfather clock. You can
like
see
to
it
open it up
just
and go
swing
inside
back and
and
forth. Yep.
How deep does the keyhole look? I'm gonna inch a little closer.
It seems like it's the right size and shape. It even is made out of iron. It looks like the keyhole fit for the other key.
All right, I'm
Or
gonna
the key that you found inside the chest.
kind of Tower. There's a keyhole there. Let's go tell the others. And I'm just gonna fly right past them. Guys, there's a keyhole in there, and it's the right size for the key that we got, and maybe it'll help us. Tower knows too.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
There is a keyhole.
I told them. Jeez.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
right. Sorry. Is the pendulum going on that?
Yep.
How much is the cadence on that? Every 2 seconds?
Yes.
Can I deduce that
You're trying to
clock
think if
swing
it's connected.
is-
No, it's got no connection to the sarcophagus. What you have is an actual functioning current time reading grandfather clock. And thinking about it, I don't think grandfather clocks exist in modern fantasy Faerun. So this is a fascinating contraption.
What
Like
is this thing?
hiding an iPhone.
It appears to be a clock in a very long case, sometimes called a long case clock.
What is a clock?
That is a
I
good
think
question. Do I
it's
know
the
what the
sound
clock
that my
is?
aunt-
Most time-telling devices in this setting, in this world, are based on I don't know. It's bells since dawn is usually what people use. So having a specific time of day is off. It's rather how many hours has it been in the day, rather. So seeing a finite clock like this seems a little strange. Not unbelievable.
Okay.
Piju. Here is the
Yes.
invisible key. Hold on to it, because if you drop it, it'll be very difficult to find.
Yes.
I'm going to go back up and look at the maze some more.
Okay. And I'm gonna go put the key in the hole.
Okay. Put the key in the hole. It fits perfectly. Clicks.
Yeah.
Opens up. Inside, you just have the pendulum swinging, but you can see that the egg-shaped weight at the bottom of the pendulum is actually detachable from the pendulum itself. It's a large, fist-sized stone.
Is there any way I could recognize what this is beyond just a fist-sized stone, if it is more than a fist-sized stone?
Roll a history check, and I would say take advantage on it because Oberlaka might recognize this.
All right. You said history check?
Yep.
Now, my highest possible is a 19. Could I ever...
Yes, you can.
Okay. Hey, got the 19.
Hey, there you go. With
know something.
Oberlaka's help, he's like,
Oberlaka does
hey,
something.
okay, so maybe poking this one was okay, because that is the navel of the moon.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds exciting. And if you say it's okay, that means I can touch it.
What is it, Pijo?
Shh. I'm gonna grab it. It's the
Okay.
navel of the moon.
It's a big, hefty egg.
Oh,
It
can I
is
carry
one
it?
large gem. This
A
is
gem.
one of the fabled treasures that the Yellow Banner folks were looking for.
Ooh, how shiny is this gargantuan gem? Can I
Uh,
like dust it off and give it some sheen?
Yeah, it's very, very clean, very solid, beautiful item here. If you were one to be used to how coin works, you might be able to appraise it, but you're not.
No. How much does it weigh though? Because I'm almost at max carrying capacity, and if it is just a big gem,
you can carry it. It's fine.
All right, I'm just gonna pocket that and come back through. There was nothing in there. We're fine. We're good. We're okay. It was just a clock, whatever that means.
There was a big gem, and Pijo has a new shiny.
I don't know.
He said it was the navel of the moon. Weren't we looking for this?
Can you believe it? How can the moon have a navel? It's the moon. It doesn't have a it was never born. It can't. That doesn't make sense.
We can't start questioning everything. It would be.
It is obviously a metaphor. Do you not understand this?
I don't know what it is. And so I'm just gonna choose to ignore whatever you just said. I don't have anything. We're good, guys. Let's look at this maze now.
Can I do a perception check on Pijo?
Oh, he's so bad at. He's got like a -1 on deception. There's
All
almost.
right, I can calm down. Know he's lying.
Yeah.
So,
shiny.
What are you guys doing?
If you do not care, he has a shiny crystal. I do not know what this does. Will not the yellow banner after this thing?
This was one of their items, isn't it?
Yes.
Not that they're about Blessem anymore, but yeah.
Who is this yellow banner?
This might have great power, Pijo. Maybe you should have Rain take a look at it.
Well, I will keep it safe because Averine's been acting real weird lately, and I don't want anything weird to happen to my new shiny. Please, I got Obalaka on my side. She said so. She said this was an okay thing for me to touch.
Does
said, it's okay to touch.
Understand what this does?
Yeah, I don't know. She's not telling.
Anyone proficient in history who can see these treasures can attempt a history check to recall any lore they might have heard about it.
Okay.
I haven't seen it yet.
Me.
No, not bad. Not bad.
Unfortunately, not quite high enough to be able to pull it out of thin air. No.
Well, here, I understand everyone's concern about my behavior of late. I don't feel quite myself from time to time. I, however, hope to remedy that with a new partnership with the fellow or lady in this sarcophagus. So perhaps redoubling our efforts on solving this maze would be just the thing for us. And I'm going to use the improved Pearl of Power to regain 2 spell slots real quick.
Okay.
All right, and I feel like using your intellect is a good way to solve a maze, but this isn't a common maze, so I'm open to suggestions on how we approach this challenge. I'm happy to enter it. I was able to successfully navigate the first of Ubtau's mazes. This is not one of those.
Well, if this is the actual maze, which it seems to be based on the firelight coming from it, we'll probably, the only methods of communication, distance communication that we have seems to be you and Aluando too. So I want to say one of you hang back, one of you go in, so that you have a method of communication and eyes outside.
Carmen just wants to touch it.
Does Carmen touch it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Carmen touches it. Carmen disappears from view and reappears inside the maze. Zola and Averine can see Carmen. And Carmen, you're inside a maze that has 15-foot high walls. It's well lit. It's very dusty, covered in cobwebs in like the corners and things. Not so much that it's a concern for moving, but just it's an old place that isn't taken care of. And high above in the sky, you can see a huge Averine, and you can't see the invisible Zola, but you can be sure that she would also be just as big. However,
Tao's gonna run up. Carmen, why did you do this? Oh, little Carmen.
when Carmen enters the maze,
Oh dear.
she also causes the maze's protectors to not the 54A. You can hide the 54A.
The dreaded 54A. I've heard of it.
Dreaded 54A. Yep. The maze's Minotaurs start to activate. So we're going to roll for initiative.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Now we all immediately jump into the maze.
That would actually be a very good idea. Do it.
Well, see, now it sounds like a terrible idea when you say that. Oh, goodness. What are these rolls?
Do I need to roll initiative as well?
You're in the maze.
Oh, okay.
Your actions inside the maze will be like controlled by the timing.
Okay.
How high up is this balcony that we're on from the ground?
It's about 20 foot off the floor.
Okay. Can we get does it look like we're taller up than the Minotaur skeletons
Yes,
are tall?
The Minotaurs are only 10 foot tall.
Okay.
But they can walk upstairs.
Well, curses, I thought that was their foil.
They're not Daleks.
If only. Oh, no,
So-
I would. Never mind.
Top of the round, Averine. When all these skeletons reform, with their spines intact, because no one grabbed any spines, what are you going to do?
So there were canvases. Do we see them or paintings?
Pijo went round and poked all of them, and all of them disappeared, and
Oh,
just
okay.
rooms full of bone appeared.
All right. Well, then I will cast. Bless at
Okay.
one, two, three. At third level. Wait, 3, 4. Yeah, at third level to get everyone but Carmen. Wait, no, I could get Carmen too. So Bless at fourth level, in case I don't know why she would need it, but I'll cast it.
So, Bless at first level gives you 3 people.
Yeah.
There are 5 people in the room, one of which you can't see. Bless requires sight, doesn't it?
It's within 30 feet.
Okay, so it doesn't require sight. So with the 5 people, Carmen is inside the chamber. Where's... I swear there's supposed to be 6 people. Oh, there you are. I couldn't see you. Okay, so 6 people. Yeah, okay. Go ahead and cast that. So everyone gets blessed.
And I'll toggle that on.
Including Carmen. Oh, you're going to do it? Okay, you go ahead. Do them all.
And that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. The Minotaurs are all going to march towards the one creature that happens to be within marching distance.
Yes, this is what I wanted.
Yep.
The undead are coming to die at my hand.
So they might not even all be able to fit around you. There's so many of them. So we have one that's going to run right at you and attempt to gore you. Hit you with its head. That's a 16 to hit
Versus AC?
versus your AC.
My AC is 22.
Okay, so that missed. Second one is going to charge in a similar fashion. That's miss. Next one is going to run up 40 foot and he'll stay there.
Pijo does not
We have
like
another
this.
that's going to move around, squeeze past Captain, and just swing with a great axe. Does an 18 hit you?
Nope.
Nope. A natural 20. Does a natural 20.
Natural 20
hit you?
hits me. That's right.
Okay. As he runs up and hits you with a gore attack, you. So if the skeleton moves at least 10 foot straight toward a target, then hits it with a gore attack on the same turn, the target takes an extra 2d8 piercing damage. This was a crit, so that is an extra 4d8 damage. So we're looking at 13, 25, 40 points of piercing damage, and I need you to roll a strength saving throw.
All right, so that's 40 points, you said?
Yep. And because of your...
They're undead, if that matters. Or, well, excuse me, are they undead?
They are undead.
But I don't think I get advantage on saving throws against undead.
No,
for any
you
reason,
don't.
So,
you actually get pushed 10 foot away.
all right.
And you fall prone. So, while you are prone, we have one that's going to charge right towards you, fit into that spot, and attack you with advantage. That's going to miss. Yeah, they're all just going to kind of crowd up. Okay. Tower. Whole load of Minotaurs. Captain doesn't look so good.
Oh.
I can save him if you guys want to all jump into the maze.
Oh,
What's
I
going
am-
on?
I am fine. Do not jump into the maze. Let us kill them all here right now.
I will
That
cast.
one got lucky.
I will cast Conjure Animals at 4th level because it's going to start combat. And I will create 2 brown bears.
Okay.
On so either side of the captain.
All right, let me just pull up the bears. Brown bears on either side of Captain. There you go.
Okay. And then Tower will wild shape into his cave bear form himself and move into position to block this corridor. Yeah. And that's my turn.
All right, Zola.
Roll in the cave bears.
Yes, please.
Can I hear or see any of this? I'm just wondering if I'm kind of can I do anything while I'm kind of like...
Everything's a bit of a haze. You can't really see anything past those that are stood right in front of it.
Okay. So I can't explore what's around me while I'm kind of listening to all this.
You can explore the maze on your
Okay.
turn.
Oh, okay.
Do
Do I need to roll initiative then?
Yes, please.
Right, okay, sorry.
Sorry, I thought I asked.
Sorry.
That's okay. Roll for initiative. We'll just add you in at the next availability. So 16 for the things and a 26 for Carmen. Okay. So I'll give you 2 turns because you would have had one before Averine. So
Okay.
let's go with Zola for now.
Yeah, that's cool.
My turn?
Zola? Yep. Your turn.
All right. I'm going to shout, Carmen, can you hear us?
Can I...
Yes, yes.
Yes?
Yes, you can.
I can hear you, but you're a bit blurry.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Laszlo, are you serious? You don't want to be saved because you are going to die.
I am so happy.
Far be it for me to take his happiness away from him.
This is gonna be so great.
All right. I'm going to turn to Everine and Piju and say, if you guys can jump into the maze, I can stay invisible and stay on the ceiling. These Minotaur cannot get me. So I can be your eyes as long as you can hear me. So take safety in that maze.
I'm not going into the maze. There's too much danger out here.
That's why you go into the maze, because there's too much danger out here. What does that mean?
But I can't abandon the folks out here.
They
And
need
if
to
we-
go in there too.
If we can go in the maze, they can come into the maze with us, and then we're stuck in a maze with 10 of these things.
Yeah, but we can hide better inside the maze. I like the idea, Picho. We should go.
I can fly
Get
right
in
up
our freaking
there,
maze!
and they can't
Don't
get
bring
me.
them in here.
Don't make me
Sounds
take
like
control
a
of
lot
you.
longer than
No,
6
you know
seconds.
Bring them in here. Bring it.
All right. Anything else from you, Zola?
I am going to move to make sure that I am good 40 feet above these guys.
Okay. But not like going along the wall, going above. Okay.
Yeah.
Picho?
All right.
Touch it.
Yeah. Well, with that in mind, like, how against the flaw from Obolaka would I be acting in? Because I don't want to go against the whole thing to fly up to the top and attack the Minotaurs from the ceiling.
What is the specific wording of your flaw? You're risk averse?
That's what I'm trying to. I put it on the Beyond sheet, and I'm trying to find it on there. It's something to that effect, though. Oh, here we go. Features and description. Personality traits. I am risk averse and a slave to routine. I mean, my routine is to fly up and shoot things with a bow and arrow.
Then do it. Do it.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna use my move to get up. I'm just gonna get up about 50, up to the ceiling, which I think you said was 50 feet, and move so I'm not above this raised platform. So I'll go kind of here-ish, and I'm going to fire. I'm going to cast lightning arrow as a bonus action. Sorry. Lightning arrow, submit, and I'm going to target this one right here because then it'll hit all of the Minotaurs, but it won't hit Laszlo because it has to be within 10 feet. So I'll roll the attack on that one first.
That's a hit.
Great. So
it takes 13 points of piercing damage.
No, instead of that, it does 48 lightning damage. Sorry.
Okay. Roll the 48.
And then every creature within 10 feet has to make a dex save, or will take 2d8 lightning damage. And my DC is 15.
Okay,
and half
so I have...
Sorry. 2d8 lightning damage, and half as much on a successful save.
Okay, so half of them succeed, half of them don't. Go ahead and roll the damage. Okay, so 7, 7, and 7. Okay, anything else from you?
I'm going to use my other attack to re-attack the one that I first targeted right here. And that's just a normal attack. And with...
That'll hit. Against which one was that?
This one right here.
Okay, fair enough. That'll hit for 15.
Cool. And that's my turn.
Okay. Sweet. Then we move to Captain.
Laying on the ground, not very happy about it. I am going to... I have a parchment, I believe, in my sleeve, and I pull it out and I whisper a prayer and I cast Shield of Faith.
Okay.
Which bumps my AC up to 24. I am then going to stand up, and as a... Let me double check. I think that's an action. Yeah, it's an action. Yes. So as an action, I am going to use my Channel Divinity, Abjure Enemy. As an action, you choose one creature within 60 feet of you. The creature makes this Wisdom saving throw unless it's immune to being frightened. On a failed, it's frightened for 1 minute and its speed moves to 0. And I'm actually going to cast that on the one at the top of the stairs that has a free move towards Averine.
Okay.
So has to make a Wisdom saving throw, and he has disadvantage because he's undead. And I'm sorry I don't have this as a...
That's okay. He rolled a 4, so he is now frightened of you, right?
While frightened, the creature's speed is 0.
Yep.
It can't benefit to a bonus from its speed.
All right. Sounds good.
And then I'm going to use my action surge to get an extra action. Where's my button? I'm not sure where my button is, so I'm just telling you that it's my action surge, and I'm marking it on my map. And I am going to... Oh, excuse me. I had to do that to do the Abjure Enemy, because I believe that's an action to do my Divine Smite. Yeah, as an action. So I did my Shield of Faith, stood up, action surge to use my Channel Divinity. And then I am going to use a superiority dice to use evasive footwork. When I move, I can expend a superiority die and add the total to my AC. And my superiority die is 1d8.
That's when you move.
It's when I move. And so I'm just telling you in advance because I'm going to move.
Okay, so you've stood up. You've only taken half your movement to do that.
Right.
You still have an action and half your movement remaining.
I use an action to cast...
Shield of Faith is a
Shield of Faith.
bonus action.
The bonus action for Shield of Faith.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh.
so you still have an action.
Love it. I'm going to walk right
Awesome.
there, back before I got gored, just into
Okay.
the middle of that group.
You'll moving into the middle of the group. You'll still be within range. Okay.
Right. Is anyone going to take opportunity attacks?
If you stay, if you don't go any further than that position, you're still within melee of everyone.
Can I move all the way to the other side and provoke a whole bunch of opportunity attacks?
Absolutely. If you would like to, you
That's
are more than
absolutely what I want to do.
welcome. Okay. You have
What's your game?
4
My
great
AC is
axes coming
29.
all misses.
Ding, ding, ding. And then I'm going to attack the fellow right next to me there with the flaming longsword.
This is much more impressive than the time with the shield. Good job.
Yeah, right?
So 17 will hit for 15 points of damage. Anything else? I know. Think how I feel, Black Steve 420. Think how I feel. 29.
Attack him again because I get my extra attack.
Okay. Ooh. That 11's going to miss.
All right. Sad times, but I understand. And then I guess that's it. I guess I'm done.
Okay. We move to Carmen. Now, Carmen, you've got 2 turns
Okay.
because I missed you last turn.
Okay.
So you're inside the maze.
Yes.
You know that you need to find a key, at least.
Yeah.
So it's up to you. You could try to scale the 15-foot wall and
Right.
climb out of the maze straight up.
Oh, okay.
Or you could start searching the maze for a key. What are you
We
gonna-
need a key. No, we need a key, so I'm gonna
Okay.
look for a key.
All right. So roll a D100, please.
Ooh. Okay. Roll 1d100. 55.
Unfortunately, you spend this turn running around and you're unable to find anything
Oh.
of any particular worth.
Okay.
That's one turn.
Just one
Second
go.
turn.
Okay.
Again.
Roll 1d100.
on.
Man. 69.
69, 69.
You find a bunch of skeletal remains
Okay.
of a child.
Oh. That's a bit grim.
Wah, wah.
You take
Is
a
it
look
the-
at the skeletal remains, and just as I'm sure Peter was about to ask, the skull kind of rolls over and has an indentation on the back end.
Okay.
That's not what I was about to ask.
No? Fair enough.
Okay. What's on the back of the skull? Just
One of
what
the
we've seen before.
shape.
Yeah, let me just... So on this, it's a hexagon.
Right. Okay.
You've got you've got triangle, square, pentagon. This is now hexagon.
Okay. I will shout up to the guys and be like, I found a body. It's a little person. And it's got a hexagon on the back of the skull.
Great work. Find also the key for the sarcophagus.
Yeah, I'll keep looking for a key. But I just saying, I found this one.
Well done.
And then she'll just kind of like just carry on, and then she'll wait to look again.
Okay. So we'll have to move around to another turn. Averine.
Does Averine notice that this one Minotaur is stuck in awe and fear of the visage that is Captain Laszlo?
Yes. Yes, you do.
Well, then I don't much care about that fella, and I will focus fire on the one that Laszlo is currently squaring up against, and I will firebolt it.
Okay.
It is
Go ahead
an
and
18
launch
for
your
8
attack.
damage.
That'll hit. It's looking pretty sturdy. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. We have the Minotaur skeletons. So, around Captain. I have a great axe attack. Now, is your AC still 29?
No, sadly, that's only while I was moving. Now it's only 24.
Okay, fair enough.
Only
All right,
24.
so that first attack missed. Second creature is going to run up towards you and try to gore you. That is a 8, so that's going to miss.
Well, question. Did the
Another
first guy
is-
who attacked
yeah.
me, was he the one who I've been fighting? I've been focusing on?
Yes, yes.
I'd like to use Riposte,
Okay,
which lets me expend a superiority die and my reaction when a creature misses me to make a melee attack against the creature.
absolutely. Go ahead and attack.
Boo.
It's for 21
Oh.
points of damage.
Alright, I get to add the superiority dice to the weapons. Is it attack roll or damage roll?
Damage.
To the
On
damage.
riposte, it's the damage roll.
So another 3 damage.
Okay. Moving on, we have another great axe attack. This is the one that Pijo has been attacking a lot. That is a 20 to hit you.
24 matches my AC.
That is 14 points of slashing damage, and I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw. Okay, you're fine. We have a Minotaur skeleton that is going to attack the bear that's next to him. So we're starting with these. That's a 16 to hit the bear
Yeah, it hits.
for 15 slashing. Now for this one, another 16 to hit this one for 8 slashing. And the last skeleton is going to move up to this position and attack the one in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
But that's an 8. That's going to miss. Up on the other side of the bear, great axe 22 to hit the bear
Yep.
for 21 slashing.
Almost down.
Oh, that one's down. Damn.
And then he will move. This guy is frightened, can't move. Does he get to save at the end of his turn?
That went away.
That went away. I'm going to say that he does get to save, but he failed. We have a gore. And yes, to answer your question, Authority, while Carl is wearing the wig, I take persuasion checks and give him a little bit of a boost. Right. It's the eyes. All right. Gore attack is going to be against Captain Laszlo. That's a 24 to hit, which is going to hit. He's going to take... Oh, because it's a gore attack, it's also going to include another 2d8. So he'll take 25 points of damage, and I believe that will knock him unconscious. Sorry, Matthew. Love you, man. All right, and then we have the last one is the skeleton up against Tower.
Mhm.
That is 24 to hit Tower.
Yep. Yep.
That's 14 slashing on Tower, and I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. You're rolling with me.
Okay, that's character sheet.
Okay. Move on with me.
That does,
Okay,
It's
that was
just the name. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
18 is fine.
cool.
Okay. That is the last of those. Now we have Tower's turn.
The tower is going to just multi-attack on that guy in front of him.
.24 is going to hit.
Okay.
6 piercing.
That's not good. 13. Some guys can
Still
miss.
hits.
Oh,
It
cool.
hits. All right, sweet.
13 still hits. These things are super easy to hit. For 11 slashing. Okay. Anything else, Tower?
No, gonna help my ground.
Zola.
All right, so this is what I'm gonna try to do. Rolling my eyes invisibly at the fact that Laszlo is now down and totally calling it. I will selflessly scurry across the floor, drop down, and I forgot what are our rules about dimension dooring something that is unconscious? Can you do it?
Yeah. You can obviously grappling him. If he's a willing grappler, then like a willing participant, i.e. not unwilling, it's free to just grab hold of him. But you were moving on the ceiling, weren't you?
Yeah, so I would be
So you
falling
just
40 feet.
Dropped 50 foot.
Yeah, you said the ceiling was 40 feet up originally, didn't you?
I think I said 50. But
Okay.
you're extra long, so I'd say maybe you extend yourself down and then drop. So less distance to actually fall. 46. Oh, I typed that into the Twitch chat. I've got my Twitch chat right next to my Roll20 chat. So you take 11 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground. Laszlo, while you were missing, just FYI, you got knocked unconscious. Okay. And you've got him.
Yep, saw that.
Where are you going with him?
In front of the maze. And what I'm going to try to do when we get there is I'm going to grab Laszlo's hand and force his body to touch it in order to save his body.
Okay. Captain is now stuck in the maze, unconscious.
And can I
Technically
use...
bleeding to death.
But everybody can still see him, so he's helpable. So that was a bonus action and a move. I would like to use my action to run back up the wall.
Okay. So you dash back up the wall. All right. Pijo.
Well, Pijo's a little confused, but he's gonna just lay up.
Sorry, can I that cave bear was at initiative 16
Oh.
and it got
Right.
deleted with the thingy.
Okay. I do apologize. We'll do the cave bear now before Pijo. I think Pijo's attacking the same things the cave bear might. So.
Yeah, so I'll just take that one.
Okay.
I've got
Sorry.
a brown bear. All right, so that's it. 21.
There we go.
That is going to hit. For 10.
And claw attack. Come on. Oh, one of the 18. Oh well.
Natural 1. All right.
It's fine.
Then are we back to Pijo?
All right,
Good
so I'm
job.
gonna Hunter's Mark the one I've been focusing on so far. Actually, I'm gonna Hunter's Mark the one Laszlo's been focusing on, the one right above that. That was just
Okay.
pinged, and I am going to, for my first attack, I'm gonna try using one of the poison arrows, see if it is more effective. I don't imagine it will be, but can't know unless I try.
Okay. So you do hit with the arrow. Which one were you hitting? The one that was Hunter's marked?
Yes.
Okay. Hits for 11 points of piercing damage.
Should I roll
Uh,
poison damage?
Don't bother. These things are immune.
Thought so. But I will add my Hunter's Mark and my Colossus Slayer to it.
That is the dead skeleton. Falls to pieces on the
Ah!
ground.
Victory. I'm now going to just attack the one below it, or not below it, beside it that I was focusing on before with my second attack.
Okay.
And just a regular arrow.
That's going to hit. 9 points piercing.
Claw the Slayer, is it once per turn per monster or once per turn total?
If it says once per turn, then it's once per turn total.
Let me double check that then.
I'm fairly
think it's
once per turn.
Yeah. So I won't roll that. Okay. And I'm just going to stay up at the top where I am.
Okay. Captain Laszlo stepped away from the computer for a moment. I need him to roll a death saving throw, so I will grab his... If you guys trust me, I'll grab his sheet and force it to roll the saving throw.
He has a plus D4 from Bliss.
Oh, he's back.
He's back. He's back. He's back.
And his aura would affect his...
Sorry. Death saving throw?
Or is his aura not active when he's...
Death save doesn't apply to... Or the aura doesn't apply to death saving throws.
Does it not? It's a saving throw still.
He's incapacitated. So
He's incapacitated, so
goes
his
away.
aura doesn't provide. However, roll a d4, Matthew.
Roll 1d4.
So that turns the 9 into a 11. That is a successful save.
That's my turn.
Okay.
Really?
Right.
Okay.
Carmen. You're going to
Okay.
keep searching the maze. Well, Captain Laszlo's body
Yeah,
is
he's
in the
next to me.
maze. Nope,
Oh.
he's nowhere near you.
Oh, so I don't know. Do I know he's in the maze?
You saw his body disappear when Zola would have crashed his hand against the actual wall, but then
Okay.
he disappeared and you don't see him.
Oh,
He was dropped
okay.
off somewhere else in the maze.
Okay. So I would just keep looking then. If I don't know where he is, then I'll just keep looking.
Okay, roll
Yeah.
a d100.
Okay.
Now Laszlo is one of the options that you could find.
Can I use a luck on these?
Luck is based on d20s,
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
unfortunately. Is there anything in particular that you would be doing in terms of your skills that you might be able to utilize to help you out in
Yes. Yeah. So I have got. Let's have a look. Well, I'm super strong now, and I'm super charismatic anyway.
You got
I
Carmen.
can't do sleight of hand. I've got Arcana. I can do an investigation. I think Arcana's better investigation for me.
You can try and
Maybe
find-
a knowledge of mazes through history and Minotaurs would let her have knowledge of how to search the
Could
maze.
work.
You got
Could work.
acrobatics. You could start jumping over walls.
I worry about jumping over walls. I feel like that'd be cheating, and that might hurt me. Can I do like a Arcana check?
You
Anywhere
can get
or?
a sense of magic running in this thing.
I'm guessing the key's magical. Got some kind of
It
magic
is.
influence. Okay.
Mhm. The whole
Can I
place
do-
is magical. If you want to try and use an Arcana check to gain a better understanding of how this thing is shifting, because remember, it's shifting every 2 seconds, so it's shifting every 3 times every turn.
Okay.
So if you're watching it and trying to pay attention to its method, the magic about this, go ahead and roll an Arcana check. Okay, I will give you one chance to re-roll the D100.
Okay. Yeah, that's a bit higher. That's a bit higher.
Much higher. You actually, in this case, find a blue crystal key.
Oh, I have a key and a skull.
Do you pick up the blue crystal key?
Yes, so I pick up a key.
Okay, and you find yourself teleported next to the sarcophagus. You grab the key, you're out of the maze, you're stood in front of the sarcophagus. Everyone's passive perception helps them to understand now that this has happened. Every single one of those skeletons has turned to look at Carmen.
Hello.
All right.
Hello, boys.
That's your turn. Averine. Carmen just reappeared in front of the sarcophagus. She's got a blue key in her hand.
Well done, Carmen. I'm going to cast Life Transference at 3rd level to deal myself 16 damage and heal Laszlo for 32 damage or 32 healings.
Okay. I need you to make a spellcasting ability check to try and force the magic to actually enter into the maze and find him accurately. There is a chance this might fail. You are blessed, so you can... No, blessed is only on... It's not on skill checks, so never mind.
24.
There you go. You're fine. Laszlo, you get back 32 hit points. You're conscious in a maze. How did you end up in the maze?
What am I doing in this maze?
So I'll call out to say, Laszlo, Carmen found the key. Try to make your way out. We need you out here. And then with my movement and my ability to walk down walls, I will walk as far down as I can and then drop the rest of the way so that I can be next to Carmen.
That's all well and good. Right. They're all going to focus on Carmen. So I have one that's going to run up. It's a 10 to hit Carmen.
That misses.
Okay. Another that'll run up. That will be a natural 1, so that's going to miss.
Yep.
Zola's still on the ceiling, right? So the area behind Carmen is still available, is what I'm checking. Like that spot, yeah.
Quick question.
Okay, so run. Yep, go ahead.
2 weeks ago, at the end of the game, you said that we had a portent of 9, a baby portent. Is that one portent for every single person, or is that one portent and that's it? That just one portent.
Roll a persuasion check. You get a +2. You get a +2 because you're wearing the wig.
Yeah.
Persuasion. Boop. 15.
15. I will give you 2 uses of a 9 for a portent.
So is that...
That wig is what did it.
Do I decide?
Any players can utilize these portents. I would typically say Averine would, since she's the wizard. So.
Okay, well then I will use one of those portents on this fella's next roll and say he only gets a 9.
For those who may be watching at home, you may have seen earlier I had a little baby. She's new, and we got her to roll her first die, and it was a 9. So the DM determined we got a baby portent that we could use. So that's where that came from. You know, for those who may be confused.
You got to work on that, though. A 9 is not a good roll for her.
I know. I was hoping a nat 20. But worst of all, her first dice fell off the table and went under the couch. Ugh.
Oh no, that is an omen.
Stephen, yours will do much better, right?
Absolutely.
Oh,
good. All right. So with its great axe, it has a +6 to attack.
Baby.
So the total is a 15 to hit Carmen. Does a 15 hit you?
Nope,
Okay.
misses.
And we have some more that are going to struggle to get around. Yep. We have a gore attack. Not a gore attack. This will be just a great axe attack. That's a 20 to hit Carmen.
That would hit.
So that's 23 points of slashing damage. We have another one that's going to move up towards the bear, and then we'll have 3 attacks against the bear. First one is a 21 to hit the bear.
Nice, bear.
For 23 slashing. Then an 8, that'll miss. And then a 24 for 23 slashing.
Yeah, that bear's out.
Okay.
Bye bye bear.
So no more bears. Captain Laszlo, how long is that skeleton going to be frightened of you and incapable of moving?
I believe it is 1 minute. Let me double check so I'm certain. 60 feet, 1 minute.
Okay.
Or until the
so-
creature takes any damage.
Okay. Then we have one last one that, since Carmen's surrounded, can't really do much else. He is going to... did we just lose Ty and Laney from Roll20?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Just want to make sure you guys aren't crashing out on us. All right, we have another Minotaur attack against actual tower. That is a 24 to hit actual tower.
Actual tower is very hit.
Okay, for 27 points of slashing damage.
I think it worse. Wow. Okay.
That was an almost perfect roll there.
Ooh.
With a
It's
2d12
alright.
plus 4. Okay, that is them done. Tower. What are you going to do?
I don't know.
Smash.
Smash him, sunshine.
Oh, Jesus, 27.
Yes, 27. That should put you at 1 hit point.
He's on 1 point.
It's a 1 hit point of the bear form.
You can do it. As your grandfather would have said, you can do it. Get to the chopper.
I'm all out of spells.
Is Tower's grandfather Arnold Schwarzenegger?
He was.
We don't tell anyone.
Oh, okay.
Right. He's just going to attack.
So many
I've
quotes.
just lost my.
Wait, come on. For anyone watching at home, this is because Lainey does not have her own laptop anymore.
No.
And we are trying to run everything off of one PC.
Well, you're doing a great job.
That's
That's definitely going to hit for 13 piercing.
yeah.
And that'll also definitely hit
Hang on.
for another 15. That is a heavily wounded skeleton.
Damn, man, it's still there.
Yeah, these things have like 60-something hit points. All right, anything else, Tower?
Yeah. For what? I'm gonna rage.
Okay.
If you rage and you die as a bear, would you lose your rage?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I'm just questioning that. Sorry.
You'll be fine. All right, then we move to Zola. Currently on the ceiling above some skeletons. What you gonna do, Zola?
I'm looking around and I'm seeing that we are running out of options, and maybe, just maybe, we only need to hold out long enough for Carmen to get that key in the sarcophagus. And so I will scoot back, drop down 20 feet onto the platform, and then I will continue moving, weapons drawn, down this wall, same as Averine did, and I will engage the Minotaurs closest.
Okay, engage. That is a hit. You do get sneak attack on that.
That's not a great sneak attack. Okay, instead of using bookmark as a bonus action, I'm going to dash back up the wall, and I'll get right to the edge there.
Okay. Will you take an attack of opportunity as you move out of the creature's range?
Well, I'm imagining you got one Minotaur and another Minotaur, and here I am, still on the wall while attacking this Minotaur, right?
Okay.
So I did
Yep.
never get into that one's range, and then because I hit that one, I got to go back up.
Yeah, because you hit one creature. Yep, no, fair enough. Because you hit him, you can move. Yep. All right, Pichao.
All right. The one that Zola just attacked, is that the one that I've been focusing on, or is that a different one?
That's a different one. The one you've been focusing
Is
on
the one beneath it right here?
is actually this one over here.
Oh, it moved over there. All right.
Did.
Then I am going to pass my hunter's mark onto this one right here that Tower's been engaged with. And I will let fly a longbow arrow.
Okay.
And let me add my mark.
Add which one, sorry?
The one that's fighting Tower.
Tower. Okay.
Yeah.
That'll hit.
All right.
And that will destroy. We have another skeleton out of
Great.
here.
And now I will use my second attack on the one that I was attacking before. over there.
That's a hit.
And it's not marked, but I haven't used my Colossus Slayer yet, so I will use that on there.
Taking down these colossal creatures.
Right.
Nobody's business.
Yeah! Serves you guys right, jerks. I'm just going to flap up here now. It's much safer up here.
Okay.
Go on, Peach Owl.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Good job, by the way, Carmen, getting that key.
Thanks, Joe. You keep going.
How many now? The
Instant.
tomb switched to multiple colors, right? Not just blue and gold, right?
Correct.
Laszlo's going to stand up and he's going to, under his breath, like, there is one thing that I do. I attack undead. I fight the undead. Sure, I get hit a little bit. But the idea is that they keep me up and I keep fighting, and instead I am put here in a maze where I have to wander about and look for things. This is a complete waste of my time and ability. I know I'm not particularly good at looking for this stuff, but somehow here I am. And I will wander the maze, looking for a way out and looking for anything interesting like keys or goblins or treasure chests or anything like that.
Just find something.
Now, because everyone else isn't actually right in front of the maze, they can just hear a lightly muffled. So, go ahead and roll a D100 as you start looking. If you apply some sort of skill or effort to it, I'll do the same thing as I did with Carmen and give you advantage.
I mean, I've got if he's interested in moving and trying to get out, if I could potentially exert myself to try and cover a little more distance, to try and get a little more done. But other than that, this is not my forte. Although I guess I've got a +5 perception.
Running, jumping, and climbing and all of that is... So moving quickly is athletics.
Right.
So would you like to roll athletics?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So you run as hard as you can. And in one or two cases, you probably break through a wall instead of stopping and turning.
Kool-Aid Man.
Roll a D100 at advantage. So 2 D100s and take the higher of the two.
86.
86. You find a single gold crystal key.
Oh, look at this. What is this key? Let me grab it.
And you find yourself now outside next to the sarcophagus holding the key.
Ooh.
Anything
I
else?
drop the key and pull out my sword. Ha ha! This is what
You're
I'm
supposed to use the
for.
key. Laszlo. We'll have
Come.
time.
Yes.
All right. So you have the blue key, right?
Yes.
The sarcophagus in front of you is changing color every few seconds.
Okay.
It can go through a full cycle, and you will be able to pick and choose the color you wish if you want.
Yes.
So when are you going to put it in? You're going to... Okay, so you're going to put the key
I
in...
just think I should pick the same color that's on the key, because that's just... Yeah.
Okay. Then, as the key goes in, blue on blue, it clicks. You hear a whole shifting of rock. All of the Minotaurs immediately turn to dust.
Oh, thank God, because they were going to, really hurt me.
They would have all turned on Laszlo.
Laszlo looks particularly crestfallen. Ah, here I am! Oh, the open.
Sorry.
He's just a little
Sorry.
anxious
That's
about the
good.
fact that
That's
they
good.
disappeared. And
See,
Good right
Laszlo,
there.
the weapon that you needed to destroy them was the key you were holding, not the sword at your back.
Okay. Two things happen in this situation. One is obviously the lid of the sarcophagus shifts and can be opened. Another, you feel yourself supernaturally charged.
Ooh.
you
The
really are
recipient
Buffy the Vampire
gains
Slayer.
a charm of the crystal heart.
Ooh.
This charm grants you immunity to piercing and slashing damage from non-magical attacks, but you gain vulnerability to bludgeoning damage. These effects last for 10 days, after which the charm vanishes from you.
So, okay, so immunity.
You are
from piercing and
immune.
slashing.
to piercing and slashing from non-magical sources,
That is awesome.
but vulnerable to all bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
So with the, like, if all the Minotaurs suddenly reformed, Carmen would be immune to their
Totally immune.
gores. Neat.
Absolutely.
She is like proper Buffy. This is awesome.
I just love that
So-
Carmen has become Buffy. It's really cool.
That is awesome. Cool. Okay.
Inside the sarcophagus, if you
Has-
shift a
has the
little
skin
bit,
gone
it's
a
just
bit
a
green?
layer of what?
Has the skin got a bit greeny blue now?
Yeah, it's a bit of a shift between green and blue.
I'm a teal colour.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Right. Inside the sarcophagus is just a layer of fog, like dry ice.
Okay.
You just, with a wave, it spirals out and disappears from here, revealing the shell of a flail snail, covered and like filled with salt. Someone poured salt on the snail.
That's a bit evil. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna just grab Averine's hand because she's
Laying on top of the snail's shell is a robe of many colors.
like Joseph's.
Yeah, like his. Yeah.
Should we sing
Okay.
about it?
Okay.
Copyright reasons, you see.
Okay.
Sorry.
I would put Averine in because Averine, come on, you like Unk. This is your bag, girl. This is all yours. But yeah.
All right.
How does my god feel about this? How does Kubazan feel about this?
That Unk's neutrality is really boring.
Oh, okay. Averine, you're up.
What about Avarine's? What about your god inside of you? Is this going to cause problems?
We're about to find out. And I touch the Technicolor
Okay.
Dreamcoat.
As you touch it, slime seems to pour from it and wrap around your wrist. A female voice echoes through the chamber. Everyone can hear. I can help you. At least, I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Now, get out of my way. And there is a contest between the two gods. Now, who are you inhabited by again?
Nang Nang.
Averine? Nang Nang. Right, okay. So, we have a charisma-based roll-off between them.
Is there any way that I can aid Unk in this roll-off?
Yep, because you prefer Unk. We'll give Unk advantage. So Unk rolls 2 d20s. 19. If Nang Nang rolls a 20, Nang Nang stays in control.
I have foreseen... Okay, well.
True. No. All right, you are now inhabited by Unk's spirit, and now Nang Nang goes back to Nang Nang's weapon. Okay.
Who has that now?
Well, I still have the pearl.
Okay.
Yeah. The pearl. So, Unk the flail snail is self-absorbed and indecisive. While inhabited by Unk, you gain the following flaw which overrides any opposing flaw. I am incapable of making decisions. However, as a power, while Unk inhabits you, your constitution score becomes 23, unless it is already higher. That should skyrocket hit point max.
It should.
Should. All right. And also in your hands is a robe of scintillating colors. Requires attunement, has 3 charge and regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn. While you wear it, you can use an action and expend 1 charge to cause the garment to display a shifting pattern of dazzling hues until the end of your next turn. During this time, the robe sheds bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light in an additional 30. Creatures that can see you have disadvantage on attack rolls against you. In addition, any creature in the bright light that can see you when the robe's power is activated must succeed on a wisdom save or become stunned until the effect ends.
That's super cool.
So,
That
yeah.
is
It's the robe of technical blinding. Okay.
I will say, all right, I have Unk partnered up with me, which means that I believe Grung has returned to his pearl. I'll not be able to use the pearl again without, I believe, another contest happening. Grung and Unk fighting again. I would
Nang Nang will wait until the next hand that touches the pearl. So as long as you remain in contact with the pearl, you should be fine, because the next touch would be next time you put it down. But you put it down, you can't touch it again.
So the pearl allows one to regain spell casting power, either 2 D3 or either 2 third level spell slots or a 6th level spell slot. Would anyone care to have Nang Nang on their side, or this item, and would therefore grudgingly accept Nang Nang's assistance? I've used the item once today, so it wouldn't be of any use today. It would only be of use tomorrow.
I'm good with Kubazam.
Don't want to risk getting Nang Nang in here.
Unanimously, every one of the gods currently inside is like, nope, you're comfortable with me, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're a wet blanket, but you're better than that thing.
So if no one else wants it, I'll just keep it in my bag. But if anyone else wants it, just let me know.
Okay. So you guys not only have collected Unk's spirit and his blessings, you also now have the 4th key.
Yes.
Carmen currently has that 4th key. So what do you guys want to do with that?
Oh, Common, you have another skull as well.
I do. So I found this before I found the key. I found this one. So it was on a child's skull though. So it's a little small, but it's got a hexagon on the back. So I imagine we need this. So we've got a few now.
Well, this means we do not have to worry about exploring the rest of this floor. Yeah, and everyone seems happy with the gods they have. Do we need to proceed?
Is there anything special about this key that I recovered that is gold?
Actually, yeah, you recovered one of the gold keys.
You got a gold one, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Everine, do you care to look at this key and tell me if it does anything magical or special?
The key doesn't do anything, and Everine can confirm that. However,
When Everine takes the key, she feels a soft, warm, healing glow and heals 20 points from lay on hands.
And Carmen as well, yeah.
Thank you for your help in the maze.
Laszlo, you receive the Charm of Treasure Sense. While this charm lasts, you can use an action to pinpoint by scent the location of precious metals and stones, such as coins and gems, within 30 feet of you.
What is
I
that
don't
called?
think
The
it's-
charm of treasure sense?
You're the shiny radar.
It's a shiny radar.
Can smell treasure within how close?
30 feet of you. This effect lasts for 3 days, after which the charm ends. However, you now lose all sense of smell.
I was not using it anyway.
Yeah. And yes, to answer Authority's question, there is at least a green, purple, black, and red key still in the maze.
Oh, we all could have got a key.
We
I
can still go
believe that is still an option. There is still the maze over there.
If we go back in, we may reset the Minotaurs.
Yeah.
Would that be such a bad thing? I did not get to kill any of them.
Yeah, but they got to almost kill you.
Yeah, you just
Yes,
you
where
just
was
hit
I
me up.
believe I am supposed to be at the front fighting, and then occasionally I get a little help to keep me up. Where were you guys?
Helping to keep you up.
I've already killed a Beholder and a giant undead T-Rex. We are
Yeah, you have
a
killed a
little
lot.
drained
Yeah.
in our resources at the moment.
You did get those 2 kills last week, or this morning. This morning you got
Well,
those 2 keys.
It was a busy morning. It was such a busy morning.
That is fair enough. It has been a busy morning, but I was so invigorated by the Beholder and the T-Rex, I thought I could get a trifecta with a Minotaur.
Don't get greedy, Laszlo. Don't get greedy. Come on.
We could all do with a short rest, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
Carmen, I did not experience any particular difficulty in the maze. It was simply looking. I was not attacked. So if someone wanted to go in and give a look, that is up to each of you, I suppose.
I'm good because I'm sorted.
I do not think we could survive those Minotaurs. I am spent. I have nothing.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty tired too. And we got some ginormous gargoyles
That
we
is
have
true.
to figure out what to do with.
Well,
So do we need to camp?
if we go down to the next level, we might not have to face the gargoyles because we already
Okay.
have the key. Because we have those other stairs that.
You could use the spiral staircase you've been using to keep going down, or you could drop down the hole that's in the center of all 4 of those gargoyles. Your choice.
I would be fine taking a short rest before we did either, if anyone cared to do so.
These floors are becoming particularly more lethal at every descent. So I think we should muster our strength before we proceed down anymore.
There is behind that particular room a clear area with the tall cabinet that goes tick-tock. I will guard the door if you wish to rest inside.
Okay.
Let's go rest then.
I can do a song of rest as well, so we get a little bit extra.
I always like seeing the DM roll a d20 when we decide to do a short rest. It's so warm and reassuring to see that.
I recently was reinvigorated on the use and fun of random tables.
That's also a terrifying thing to hear.
Piju, your natural affinity for finding secret doors, is it equally capable of concealing secret doors that we've previously found, so as to give us an extra layer of security, perhaps?
I mean, I could try just closing the door again, but I don't know if I'll hit it back well enough. I can try.
Strictly speaking, you could try closing the door until the point where you can't see the door anymore, and then you figure, okay, that should be good enough. You could try it.
Yeah, I'll try.
While you guys are resting, though, you do all gain the benefits of a full short rest. So feel free to expend those hit dice. Use the 1d6 from Carmen's Song of Rest. However, at the end of it, I need everyone to roll Constitution saving throws.
No problem.
What do you get?
Yeah, with a
with
23
short
for
rest?
con. You can spend hit dice to get hit points back. You should get Bardic Inspiration back.
I get inspiration back. Sorry. Okay.
30.
Well, that 12 isn't looking too hot.
No.
That's a D8. So you get to roll a D8.
I rolled a D8.
Yeah, so you get to roll the D8 for each of the dice plus a D6, which is some rest.
1d8 for a song rest.
Is it 1D8?
It's 1d8 for song rest because I'm level 9 now. Yeah.
Okay, so
I think Zola, did you roll that D6 earlier?
Yes.
Is that for Song of Rest?
Yes.
Would you like to take the 6 or roll a D8 instead? Because it should actually be a D8.
I'm okay with 6. It's a good livelihood.
you can roll a hit dice for every punch, so just press it.
Okay.
Okay.
I get 8 then. Okay.
Yeah, but you can roll again. You can roll as many as you like within that counter. So you delete that. Right, so I've got 8.
Oh yeah. Okay.
If you go over half, you only get half every day after a long rest. So
And then I got the 4 early. Okay, fine.
And we all roll con saves.
Yep, everyone roll con saves.
And everyone gets +2 since presumably I'm with you guys and you're all within my aura of courage.
That 14 might be much better than that 12. Open. Although technically, if this triggers after a short rest, Pishu didn't get any benefits from the short rest, so maybe he doesn't have to take a Constitution saving throw because he didn't do a short rest with everybody else.
He spent an hour sat in a room that's constantly being pumped up with poison.
No, but
So Averine, not Averine, what's your name? Zola. She's fine. She's fine.
So-
Averine, no problem whatsoever with that 30.
+2,
Yeah.
so that's a 15 for me.
Okay. 15
Well,
is a success.
14
So 14 is not, unfortunately. So it seems like it's just Pijo that struggles and fails. Ooh,
that's
and Carmen.
Yeah.
Okay. At the end of this short rest, Pijo and Carmen both gain a level of exhaustion.
Ugh.
Oh, carbon monoxide poisoning. No.
Is there a place to mark that on Roll20 on our
Yes,
sheet?
there is.
Where
On your
is it?
character sheet, you can go to the cogwheel on your
Uh-huh.
character sheet, and down in the list of things to show, there is an option for Show
You could do it.
Exhaustion Tracker.
Although I knew it was going to fail anyway, to be fair.
Okay, it's fine.
I can't do it, it's fine.
It's all the way on the right, last time.
I got it, yeah. Yeah. Sweet.
You check that, and then on your actual page,
you
you
go.
can set your exhaustion level, and then it should show you the effects of that level of exhaustion. It might not be accurate, but it shows you
Okay.
some effects.
Yeah.
You know.
Yay.
I don't know what that means, but yeah. Okay.
So,
Oh, guys, I thought we rested. I feel like crap.
Well, it has been a
Yeah.
very invigorating day, very busy day. That is to be expected that one would still feel a little of the wobblies.
I mean, this isn't wobblies. I'm kind of lightheaded. I don't. Oh.
Well, let us carry on. We will go forward, and there is, as Tower said, no reason to stay here, so we will go down. I have no interest in gargoyles, so we can go down the twirly staircase. How you say twirly staircase?
I think
Twirly
that's
spinning?
right.
That's exactly
I
right.
think that's that and the standing clock that we're here with.
so you guys going to take the stairs down?
Yeah.
Right.
The swirly, curly.
The twirly stairs. Twirly stairs.
The twirly, that is how you say twirly curly stairs.
All right, let me just
Oh,
pull everyone
Piju.
in. Yep.
I feel now. I still don't quite feel like myself. However, I don't feel as avaricious as I did moments ago. Would you like me to take a look at that, whatever it is that you acquired?
You say you don't feel avarinish still?
That is not what I said.
Oh, well, okay. This might just be the lightheadedness talking, but you can look. Here's my shiny thing, just for you to take a little gander at. Here you go.
So what?
What is it?
So it's a non-magical shiny.
It's glorious, whatever it is.
It is very glorious. It doesn't exactly look like a navel. Is that a bobblehead? That's a bobblehead. That makes it almost
is.
awesome.
Almost. Oh, sorry.
All right. So, looking over it with your history, Averine, you, even with an 18, struggle to be able to tell what this is, where it comes from. You've heard Pijo mention Eye of the Navel, but with your keen eye, actually roll an investigation check.
Oh, let me take a closer look at that.
As you inspect the item.
With advantage, it's a 19.
A 19. Okay. All right. This thing, by itself, purely for the value of the stone and its weight, you can estimate it's worth about 2,500 gold. At auction, it could probably fetch 3-4 times that much.
Can help a lot of people with that money.
Pijo is very shiny indeed, and although I don't know the story attached to it, I reckon that story would make it sell for even more than its base price would suggest.
We're not keeping it?
I'm just letting you know what you have your hands on.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm saying this at great risk to myself. Do you want to put it in your treasure chest?
I can if you like.
I think that's probably a safer place for the shiny.
All right, I'll conjure the chest. I'll open the chest for everyone to look and to see what's inside. Does anyone want to grab anything or put anything in here?
Apparently not. All right.
So I'll take.
I still have concerns. Anything we put in will disappear in the event of your unfortunate, yet hopefully non-eventful demise.
Well,
That's a good point.
let's not concern ourselves with that eventuality.
Okay. As you guys are kind of picking up your stuff and leading down the stairs towards the bottom level of the stairs, the staircase doesn't go any further down. You simply have a door that heads out eastward and a corridor that heads southward. Whatever you do, we're going to do it after a short break. So on your screens in just a moment, you will see this week's Who's That Monster? And type in the chat what you think it is. After our short break, we'll find out who was correct. All right. See you all in a bit. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us. Thank you for staying after the short break. So, today's Who's That Monster up on your screens is the Beholder. Just as the last session 2 weeks ago, the heroes fought against Belcoach the Beholder. That's the Who's That Monster. I've always loved Beholders. I think they're great. They're fun, and just the fear that they put into players' minds when they hear there's a Beholder nearby, it's always a nice thing to play off of.
I mean, that definitely didn't happen with us this time. We were fine.
Yeah.
He was fun.
Yeah. No fear.
No fear there.
Yes, well done, Authority, for getting it correct. So, you guys go down the stairs. You got a door that heads out eastward, and then a corridor that heads out southward.
I'm gonna slither across the ceiling and be like, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. And I will...
And I will let her go a good 20-30 feet in the distance so that she can advise us of anything, but otherwise I will lead the way with the rest of the group.
Everyone, are you sure that we should have gone this way? I'm having second thoughts. Maybe we should have gone the other way.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to make the choice to fight those gargoyles right now?
I don't know. My brain is foggy. I can't commit to one direction or another. But I wonder if maybe we should have gone the other way.
This appears to be the passage for the caretaker. I believe this is the safest route at the moment.
That is very intelligent of you. We will go this way. Forward.
Yes.
So I stopped
Oh,
at this
fine.
door on the side, and I would like to check it for traps and listen, see if I can hear anything on the other side. Don't touch it.
Okay, roll a perception check. You look for traps on the other side. Okay, you hear a body of water sloshing about, but you don't sense any sort of traps. Do you
Okay.
open the door?
No.
Okay.
Does it sound like a large body of water?
It sounds like a very large body of water.
Definitely don't open it.
This
Can
could
I-
be where we faced the last creature. That big sluggy thing.
Now, in this corridor south of you, you can all see puddles of viscous grey slime.
Mm.
It's pooling on the floor, though, right?
Is that
Pulling on the
capital
floor.
G, capital S gray slime, or is that just a slime that is gray?
And it's just the slime that is grey.
Okay.
Okay. These areas, wherever you can see a pool of grey slime, is considered difficult terrain for those having to trudge through it, as it is sticky. Very sticky. And any creature that starts its turn in a puddle of slime or comes into contact with it for the first time on a turn will take psychic damage.
Oh. If we touch it.
If you touch it. And
What
you'll
is
learn
the-
that very quickly, and it'll be very little. You get that information. So, what do you want to do, guys?
Checking for traps, checking for traps. If I don't see any on my way down, I'm going to poke my head around the side, the corner, see what I can see.
They keep up behind her.
The corridor turns. Yeah. Don't forget, you can't see Zola. So following her is difficult. So you can just see that at the end of the corridor, it just comes to an end at a stone wall. However, similar to some other scenarios and other cases where you've seen, you can see that the stone wall has some structuring to it that should allow it to pull back and slide into the wall to the side of it. This is a secret door.
Alright. I'm gonna run back to the rest of the gang. Be like, okay, so there's water behind that door, but otherwise I don't hear any movement. And then behind us is a secret corridor, or we're in the secret corridor that leads to someplace beyond. Which direction do you want to go?
I'm sorry.
I do not want to face the big creature. Let us proceed through the secret door.
So I just want to bring out the robe of scintillating colors again,
Mm-hmm.
and possibly retcon before the short rest if anyone else wanted to attune to it. Did touching it automatically tell me what it did?
No, Unk would have told you what it does. But yeah, when you touch it, Unk comes in, Unk tells you what it does. So you know what it does.
Does anyone want this robe of scintillating colors?
Can I wear it underneath my armor?
Not to gain the benefits of it.
I think you'd want to wear it over your armor.
Oh, magical clothing. I have no use for it. Only magical armor.
There's no reason why you can't wear it over your armor, though.
It could be just baggy, like a massive like dressing gown type thing. Maybe just pop it on and see how you feel. It might help.
Kind of thing that when you spin, it twirls outwards. It's great.
It'd be so pretty. Although don't be too shiny because PJ might get a bit attracted to you. So
Well, it sounds like you want to wear it, Carmen.
I know I'm fine.
You were talking about shiny and flashy.
Well, if it makes you harder to hit, based on history, maybe you'll want that.
Oh, snap.
So does this work
You'll
if
carry
it's...
on deciding, and Tower's going to walk onto the slab.
So mechanically speaking, that's not something that I can wear with armor, is it?
Yeah, it is. Totally. You can put it over the top of your armor.
Pop it on.
Why not? I would be a fool to say no to an offer of friendship such as this.
It looks
As-
good on you.
As Tower steps onto the grey slime, he feels a shudder of presence as the aboleth that you guys have met already is clearly affecting this slime. This is his slime, and you take 2 points of psychic damage.
Ooh.
I'll recoil.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, do not touch that.
Are you
Do I
okay?
feel a little bit filthy with that? Do I really sense that aboleth thing? I
You
didn't know
really
what I
do
needed
sense
for-
you sense that creature that you guys had seen previously. You sense that creature in the slime.
that this is that creature's filth, the one that we when Zola fell, that one, the filth of it. Do not touch that slime.
Okay.
I know the captain has not faced this thing, but it is beyond us.
That thing is no good. I will walk on the walls and avoid the slime.
Can you do that now?
Will fly.
I'm
Yeah,
still
oh no,
attuned.
your name. It's
I'm
gone.
still attuned to the. Does the wall walking come from Nang Nang or from the pearl?
Then the wall walking came from Nang Nang.
Okay. Does the resistance to poison come from Nang Nang or from the pearl?
Let me pull out the specific stuff about Nang Nang. Nang Nang. So, we have the trickster gods of Omu, Nang Nang. The power that Nang Nang gave you was that you can move up and down and across vertical surfaces and upside down along ceilings while leaving your hands free. You also gain a climbing speed equal to your walking speed. Nang Nang does not give you resistance to poison.
Okay.
Okay.
So the poison resistance came from the pearl.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I try to walk on the wall and my foot slips. It's like, oh, I can't do that anymore.
Be careful.
It's like 5 feet. Is it wide enough for somebody to do that kind of thing where they kind of do that across?
With their limbs.
Yeah.
Friction
That's how 7
climbing.
foot. And I think you're supposed to be. I think that's supposed to circumference is supposed to be
Your height,
your
it's your height.
isn't it? So you could do that. I was
I'd
gonna
say
try
most of you would be able
do
to scale the wall in that area. In most sections, that stuff will leave some gap around the outside that you can avoid. So you can even maybe put one foot on the ground on the edge and then just lean past it and shuffle. You'd be fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Nang Nang.
Nang Nang.
Yep. All right. So, who's opening the door?
Check if traps listen for movement behind.
No traps, as best as you can see.
Can I hear anything?
No movement.
Okay. Laszlo, you're up.
I will kick in the door.
Okay.
I'll come out.
Kick in. It's a mechanism. I'll just open the door.
Okay. Good. Because
It's a metaphorical. It's a metaphorical kicking in.
You're good with metaphors now, yeah?
People keep using this word and I don't know what it means.
What metaphor?
A what for? For what? Is it? I don't.
For
No.
cows to eat grass and lie down in.
Okay. Well,
That is what the meta's
why are
for.
we talking about this then? We're in a dungeon.
Just to go with it. It's fine. It's okay.
So, looking past the false door as you open it up, you just have a thin corridor, has some cobwebs to the right of you, opens up to a wider corridor that juts out away from here. And in that corridor, you can see some light in there, which is a nice change from most of the other tunnels that are in here. But then looking to the left, you can just see it carries on back towards the center of the whole dungeon and turns abruptly. You can smell rot in the air
Except
coming
Laszlo.
from north.
Can Laszlo smell
Ah,
treasure?
true. Laszlo can't smell.
I smell nothing.
Do you smell gold, Laszlo? Is that treasure?
I smell it. Right.
It's like iron. I'll take a right and head down to the corner with the lights.
Okay.
Stop and take a look both ways. Mother always said, look both ways before crossing the dungeon.
Bay is a weird place.
Was this a training regime with your people?
Thay is a strange, dangerous place with all sorts of
Bondage.
dangers. Yes.
So, looking into this corridor in front of you, Captain, it's a wide corridor, 10 foot wide. It's quite nice. Plenty of space, which is a refreshing change. However, to your left, which is the east of you, as you look through, there appears to be a large curtain.
Oh, not another curtain.
Your favorite.
Your favorite.
Why did you not stick your head in there?
This curtain just simply seems to have just a red. It's a purple, thick curtain, just the color. However, across the hall from your current position, right across the hall, you can see the words "Awaken Napaka" written in blood.
Perhaps we really should have read the plaque on this floor.
Oh, yeah.
I thought
Am I familiar?
they said there was no plaque because there was no.
No staircase to drop down to, and no one went down the hole, so no one saw any plaque down here.
Can I just see what's down at the end there with that little thingamajig?
At this distance, that's really hard to be able to see, but you can just about get an idea that it looks like a torch sconce. Looking at the spaces along the wall, you can see that there are lights in these bronze sconces at certain intervals, and then there's one that's just closed. However, just before it, opposite one of the other lights, there is another of those thin crawl spaces.
Zola, before we step into this overly inviting space, which makes me suspicious, do you care to do your particular kind of reconnaissance?
Sure.
That sounds like the usual plan. Let's just go in.
Are you sure we shouldn't turn down the other way?
Don't break the routine, Tower. It's good.
I'm not. My God is not good with good routine.
Okay, but good routine is good because that's why it's a good routine. It was a bad routine, it'd be a bad routine. I don't like this guy anymore. Agent's bad. I'm glad I didn't get him. Ugh.
I'm gonna go have a look at the scones.
Can't believe he's
I'm
doing
not touching. I'm just having a
Don't
look at
touch it.
Not touching. It just looks like it's a sconce that has yet to be lit. There is a small wooden torch that's inside of it. It's got a wrapping around it. You can smell faintly the oil. It is ready to be lit. It's just not been lit.
We could light this. Do you want to see what's behind the curtain first? Can I pay down there? Down the
Behind the curtain?
no, down the little slit.
Oh, down the little slit. Yes, you can. Just like most of these,
Sounds
it
cool.
turns. Yep.
Okay.
Zola, do you know who Napaka is?
Certainly sounds Chilton.
You can roll a history check.
18.
Okay. Napaka was a name that referred to an old Omuan princess.
Ooh, Omuan royalty is what that's referring to. I think. If so, it's a long time ago.
didn't we encounter an Oberlin princess last floor?
You know you did.
And we awakened her, so maybe we're doing it right. We're following all the instructions, even before we see them. They're definitely not warnings.
Yep. The fact that it says it scrolled in blood is reconfirming.
They didn't awaken Napaka. Now they're bleeding out and dying. So they're saying next people.
Would it be?
Carmen, what were you going to say? Sorry.
I was going to ask, do we still have the Dow with us?
Yes.
Okay.
She's following to give that extra one cast, but eventually she's going to get bored of you.
What is it she can cast again? Just so we know in case we need to use her before she gets bored too much.
So the Dow.
Sorry, I don't think I wrote it down.
It's okay. Just creatures. Oh, I think I spelled Dow wrong. DAO. There we go. So the Dow.
Damn.
Daylight come and you wanna go.
Detect
Do you want to
evil
go
and good.
home?
Detect magic, invisibility, tongues, gaseous form, stone shape, phantasmal killer, move earth, plane shift, pass wall, conjure earth elemental, wall of stone.
Okay. She can plane shift something. All right.
Yeah, plane shifting is not very good.
You've
So
determined
if
plane
plane shift, we don't
shifting
wanna fight.
would any recipient of a plane shift would end up. So for those that may not be aware, a couple sessions ago the party rescued a Dow. The Dow is staying behind, following them, offering to give them one spellcast of her capabilities without getting involved in any way to save the life of the party at all. No involvement from the Dow other than one use of her spells. You know that the recipient of a plane shift inside this dungeon would end up being teleported to some random other location.
Is
That
that
might
if
not
they
be
teleport out of the dungeon though, or is that
They
if
attempt
not
to
part?
teleport out, but plane
Right.
shift only teleports out.
Of course, yeah. Okay, cool. Okay.
So-
Sorry. Cool.
So we
Thank
should
you.
really try to convince her that, helping us long term is the only way she will escape this place.
Yeah, but I was just bearing in mind that, hey, you're still here. Hi, we appreciate you. It's okay. We're good. I'm just checking that she's not bored and we're okay in case we need her.
She's still there.
Cool. Awesome. Just checking.
What you doing there, Captain?
I am looking very closely at this curtain.
At the purple curtain or
It
behind
appears to be nothing more than a purple curtain. I am not touching the curtain. I am simply looking at the fabric very closely.
You know what happened last time you started playing with curtains?
I seem to recall that we got further into the dungeon and I heroically took the damage so that none of you suffered, as it was meant to be.
You did. Okay.
Then I will
Should we
open
check
the
this?
curtain again with the encouragement of Carmen, who has told me that I am doing what I am supposed to be doing.
You are, and you are amazing. And but you know what? I don't want you to
The
get
curtain
hurt
is now open.
quickly. Okay.
Captain. Beyond the curtain, the hallway comes to a dead end immediately after a statue. Now, this statue is about 6 foot tall statue of a 4-armed gargoyle. One of its arms has fallen and is on the floor. That's what the curved little thing is. The other three arms have their hands open in such a way as if to suggest they should be holding something. Carved into the wall above the statue is a riddle. 3 I need, then 3 more. 3 more still opens the door.
Avorine, Carmen, come look at this. It is a most interesting poem.
I'm coming.
It
3.
appears to be some poem of mourning and loss. I do not know why an artist would make this sculpture and poem here.
What
So
was
it
it?
says-
3 I need, then 3 more.
3 more still. That opens the door.
Yep.
So there are, excuse me. There are 3 lit torches on each side of the corridor or sconces, one unlit sconce, perhaps pulling out 2 of our own torches and lighting that sconce would be 3, 3, and 3.
But then there's a tunnel, so if it's 3 I need, then 3 more. If we like that one, then would that not mean it's 4 and 3? So would that not unbalance it?
He's suggesting also to hold 2 of your own to make 9.
Well, it's got its hands open, and there's 3 hands that are open. And if 3 it need, then maybe that's where the 3 go. I don't know.
Then perhaps there is another. Perhaps there is more in this small passage that we cannot see that we need to light. This is too big for me to be effective. Pijao or Zola, do you wish to go this way?
Not really, but if nobody else wants to.
No, it's okay. I'll check it out.
Okay, thank you, Zola. You're so brave. You're brave when we can't be.
All right. So squeezing through this corridor, it's again tight squeezed like all of the others, but it comes to an abrupt end. When you move through, at the very end of the corridor is just a stone, but the stone seems to be almost green in its color, so it's definitely not the same kind of stone. And carved into the circle, you've got a circle design that's right in front of the opening. Carved into it are the words, or the word, Napaka.
Okay, that's all I see.
Mm-hmm. All you see.
And where exactly is that? That's here?
No, that's actually right up there.
Okay,
That's
so I moved that
at
whole
the
way.
end. You can't go any further because the exit, what should be the room beyond, is completely blocked by a stone block.
Okay. I'm gonna move backwards. Moon slither.
Yep.
And I'm gonna, as I come back out, I'm gonna be like, you know, if she was royalty and we met a royal and we didn't figure out we didn't solve the puzzle of that room, would it be weird to think that it's like a 2-part trap? 2-part riddle? This would be the second part? Is that weird?
What were the other clues?
Everything is weird in this. I do not think any other possibility. These possibilities are not a potential outcome.
Well, in there's a stone that's blocking my way, and it's greenish colored, and it just says Napaka on it. And then this thing over here says Awaken Napaka. So it's screaming at us to do something with this thing called Napaka.
Well, awakening Napaka was accomplished by taking her mace or whatever it was, scepter, rod that she was holding.
Yeah, but we never figured out what to do with those scepters. So I'm wondering if that whole puzzle was a 2-parter. The plaque above said, find the scepter's twin, implying that was still of some use to some degree, but we never figured out why.
But aren't those clues linked to what's going on that floor on its own?
Right, and it
That's
just
what
said
they
find the scepter. It didn't say what to do with it.
No, true.
But
So-
it is on a different floor, so that's weird.
So
Well,
we could go back and get one or both of those scepters, potentially reawakening Napaka. Or we could try to figure out what the 3 things, what this gargoyle's riddle means.
Well, on the other floor, we had to search the whole floor for things just to solve one of the puzzles. So maybe these 3 are just around the whole area.
Well, that other direction seems to lead us towards that creature in the water.
I mean, we already had to fight a beholder, and there's those gargoyles, and there's the hags, and there's that zombie fetus. I think we're gonna have to fight some nasties, no matter which way we go.
Is there anything else about this room before we go anywhere? Just can I do
The
like
only things in here, absolutely categorically, is the sconce that is not lit,
yeah.
the gargoyle that has a hand broken off, an arm broken off on the floor.
Yeah.
But the 3 arms are reaching out with their hands open as if to grab something. The message, 3 I need, then 3 more still, opens the door.
Well, I believe we will carry on with Adrian's plan, and he will light his palm with produce flame, light the sconce, and then produce flame on the other hand, and have like 2 of them.
Getting out of the way then.
And Laszlo ignites his flaming sword.
So, is that what you do? Someone lights the sconce?
Tower's going to light sconce.
I'm getting out of the way.
Okay. Before anyone can do any more movement, I'd like everyone to please roll for initiative. As Tower lights the sconce, the wall to his right disintegrates, and an enormous, colossal construct that fills up the space, wall to wall, with wheels on it. What Zola had witnessed was a hubcap. Will start rolling down. Similar fashion.
Is that the name of the car? Is the car named Napaka?
Car is called Napaka.
Oh, that's adorable. I mean, not right now. Right now it's terrifying, but you know.
Yeah. So, do I have everyone's initiative?
Nope.
1, 2,
Laszlo
3, 4,
always
5.
rolls crap for initiative. I always roll below like an 8.
Yes. The first one was Ty. He tried to steal my good initiative, and I got it back anyway.
Okay. So, the Napaka
Awesome.
got a 13 on its initiative. So, Zola, this thing is starting to come down. You're out in the corridor, so you're fine. Anything else from you?
Can I, well, I'll turn to Carmen Piju behind me, and it's like, there's a giant construction thing coming down the corridor. Tower's in grave trouble. And I will reserve a attack for if it gets within my reach.
Okay. Carmen.
Carmen is really worried about Tower.
Don't worry about Tower.
No, but Carmen's going to worry about Tower, regardless if Tower says, don't worry about me. Carmen's going to be like, you know, worried. So, could I use that?
No.
No? Okay, fine. Sorry, apologies.
Is this a creature or is this a thing?
Yeah, is it like a car, like made of wood, or is it like some?
It's a large construct of stone.
Stone. Right. Okay. So in that case, I will therefore use Shatter in its direction to not hit Tower, but to hit the construct, and I will use that at level 4. Yeah, because I'm going to look after my mate. Because he must be more than that.
Okay. So, Constitution save from this thing.
Does it do extra damage on constructs? I forget.
Shatter does.
On items, but what about...
A non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried also takes damage. Okay.
This doesn't count as that.
No, a creature made of inorganic material such as stone, crystal, or metal has advantage on saving throw, but that's fine.
That's cool.
It has advantage on the saving throw?
Disadvantage.
It has disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it rolled a 7. So that fails. It takes the full force of 16 points of thunder damage. Which is all well and good. Okay, so 15.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That is it.
Anything else, Carmen?
Nope, that'll be it.
Tower.
Right. So, does this thing look like it's rolling at me, or does this thing look like
It's on. It's effectively on logs, and it is going to just keep rolling down towards you.
Right. Okay. So.
It's on its way.
Yeah. Can Tower get into this hole? Into this
Yeah,
passage?
you can squeeze down there if you'd like.
Tower's going to just. I'm just going to squeeze down there, and then. I haven't got much I can do to this thing at the moment, so I haven't got any spells left. So on the high end spectrum, so I'm just going to ice knife it at first level, and then
Casting Ice Knife.
yeah.
Okay. So you launch it. 22 is going to hit.
So it's going to take 1d10 piercing.
Different, okay.
23, and then
Is
2d6 cold.
That's piercing damage, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then 2d6 cold.
There we go.
Sorry.
How much is the cold? My
11.
screen hasn't updated. Okay, 11. Fair enough. Anything else from you?
Sorry, and then I'll oh, shit, I'm ducking behind them.
All right. Go ahead, Averine.
So I'm going to move into the corridor, and as I pass by Laszlo, I'm going to cast guidance on him to give him a 1d4 on any checks he needs to do. And I'll say, "Get your ass moving!" That's it.
Okay. All right. Because it was brought up in chat, Odd Authority, Shatter just gives disadvantage on the saving throw to any creature made of inorganic material, such as stone, crystal, or metal. Looking at it, it does not do any additional damage, unfortunately. All right, so
Chat room
you
trying to help me out.
pushed back. They are trying to help you. Pijo, you're pretty safe.
I don't know if there's anything I can really do to help with the resources I have right now, so I'm just gonna hold back here, and maybe I'll take out my arrow and aim it down this hallway in case something comes from behind at any point, to keep an eye on our rear.
Okay. All right. In which case, it's Napaka's turn. It's going to start to roll and roll and roll and roll all the way to the end of the corridor, hitting into Captain on the way.
Oh,
Let's see if
Shield up! Woo!
how a slam attack does.
Oh,
That is a 27 to hit.
oh.
Good thing it wasn't a crit.
Sure.
Okay. That hits, then you take 22 points of bludgeoning damage. And I need you to make a strength saving throw.
You do not get an extra thing. Oh, doesn't matter.
Well, what I get is 1d4.
You don't. That's what I was saying. It doesn't count
Uh-oh.
for saving throws,
No.
just for ability
Okay.
checks.
So, with the 22, so 25 on the save, you succeed the save. You are not knocked prone. It's moving at an incredible pace, but because you held your ground, it is stuck in front of you.
I am Superman. Comes right at me.
What are you going to do, Captain?
I can't. Let's see. Can I get around it, or is it just blocking the hallway?
It is wall to wall, ceiling to floor. It is blocking. You either need to destroy
Dig in.
this thing.
Feet down. I'm gonna push it back. I'm just gonna push right against it.
Zola,
Let me see
you
if I
can say
have
something.
any worthwhile.
Oh yeah, Zola had prepared to attack it when it came into range, right? Before you push, Zola, go ahead and attack.
That's a critical with because I'm snucked. I'm invisibles. Unless
Yep.
can't do that.
Well, it has blind sight technically because it doesn't have eyes.
Okay.
So you're not, strictly speaking, hidden. So 17 still hits for 10, and I would say you would even still get sneak attack
Oh, thank you.
because Captain's right there for an extra 19. Okay. Then Captain, you're trying to push on this thing.
I feel like it's the only thing I got.
Athletics.
That one you can add a d4 to. That one, and that's it.
Oh, I got. Oh,
You shove this thing back
yeah. Yeah.
10 feet. And you go with it.
I'm gonna.
So is this
I'm
a
gonna-
grapple now or what?
This isn't strictly speaking a grapple, this is a shove.
I'm gonna action surge to shove him again.
So a shove is a special attack, and as such, since you have the extra attack feature, you can make 2 shove attacks for 1 action.
Shove it again.
Okay. Athletics again. This time it's too strong.
Hold on.
Oh,
get
actually,
1d4.
No, you don't. You only get 1d4 once. Okay, this is a one-time thing, unfortunately. So on this second time it failed, would you like to use your action surge?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again? Are you going to push it again?
I'm gonna duck into the hallway. Actually, I can push it again. Give it one more. Give it like a push off and then dive into the hallway.
Okay, it rolled a 25.
Oh, boo. That's. Yep.
No movement there. Okay. And then you're going to move.
Can I jump into the hallway?
Mm-hmm.
Jump into the hallway. Ah!
Okay. Zola, will you be doing anything?
Yeah, I'll slither up to it and strike it, and then slither back,
Okay.
just in case that statue down there is valuable for some reason. That's critical.
That's a
Ooh.
crit.
Let's see. It's not surrounded by any of my friends, and there is somebody within 5 feet of me, 10 feet of me. I don't think I get sneak attack.
So the parameters on a swashbuckler sneak attack state that it can... Is it within 5 feet of the creature or 5 feet of you?
5 feet of the creature to get sneak attack the usual way.
Mhm.
And let's see.
But you have a special weird one, being a swashbuckler.
It's not within 5 feet, right? Because that's the swashbuckler is about like isolating, isn't it? And
You
one-on-one.
also gain an additional way to use your sneak attack. You don't need advantage on the attack roll to use your sneak attack against a creature you are within 5 feet of. No other creatures are within 5 feet of you. And okay, so
So
unfortunately,
someone's
because Captain's right there.
Well, Zola slithered just a little bit further down, right? Before striking. She went down by
well,
the
even
torch.
if I was here, he'd be within 10 feet.
Oh, it's 10 feet, not 5 feet. Okay.
So
Dig it.
I just hit him with a critical and I slithered back.
Okay. So it's a powerful hit. This thing is heavily breaking apart. Then Carmen.
Carmen's going to run in and smash it. Because that's what she does.
Go ahead.
She's going to use her fun little stuff of striking. There it is.
That'll hit. 13
Yeah.
points of force damage.
And then she'll
Anything
take
else,
her
Carmen?
second go. And do the same again.
Another solid attack.
How's it looking?
It looks like stone with lots of cracks in it.
Okay.
Yep.
And then she will jump out of the way.
Okay. Strictly speaking, it can make an attack of opportunity.
Really? It's
How would
Really?
that work? I guess it would just like nudge forward a little bit.
exactly. And she would just
That's a
like
29
headbutt it
to
back
hit.
because she's mega buff.
Yep, 29 to hit you.
It chose to do it now.
It couldn't do it against Zola. So
Or Captain. Okay.
it could have done it
27,
against
yeah?
Captain. 27 bludgeoning.
Fine.
That's technically
It's fine.
54 bludgeoning because you're vulnerable.
Oh crap! Yeah, she's bludgeoning. She's vulnerable to bludgeoning.
No.
That's
How much are you
54
at?
points
We're
of.
on the same team here.
I know.
I think there's gonna be a couch sleeper tonight after this thing's over.
Ooh.
54.
54 and an EJK strength saving throw. Which you got extra strength. You should be fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine because it's going to be Tao. He's going to heal her. You need a. Sorry, you need what saving throw?
Strength saving
Yeah,
throw
Okay, cool.
from Carmen.
+2 because you're by what's his name? Oh no.
But she
I
has
need a luck on that.
luck. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to use luck. And that's not going to help. Oh, it's going to help.
That's
Okay.
gonna help.
There we go. 21 successful.
Yeah.
You do not get knocked prone. You can leave its area. All
Right,
right.
staying out of the way.
Tower, you're behind it.
Good luck.
I was going to poke his head up.
Now, Tower, you notice something because you're behind it. In the room that it was in previously, there is a lustrous, spiked ruby, as big as a human fist, sitting on a stone shelf, just behind where the Juggernaut was.
Okay, not interested.
Enough.
As far as Tower's concerned, it has no use. It's just a ruby.
Maybe it could be a key.
Could be a key.
Okay.
The statue needs 3 things and that's about the size of a fist, and its hands are open, and they could close into a.
God,
What? Sorry, it was a what?
a ruby.
A really big, size of a human fist,
Right.
ruby that appears to be spiked a little bit. If you want, roll a history check.
Well, he wouldn't be able to get the ruby back to the statue because there's this big thing in the way.
It doesn't matter.
No, true. You wouldn't be able to get it back to the statue, but 13, not bad. It seems to match the description of the Eye of Zaltek, another of those fabled treasures that the Yellow Banner were looking for.
All right. Okay.
We need that as well.
All right. Well, that's not worth it. I'm gonna draw my. I'm trying to get the idea of this thing. Is it self-propelling or is it just rolling? It's got momentum and therefore it's rolling. Has
It's
it lost?
just got momentum, more or less.
So it's lost its momentum now. Is it rolling back towards me? Because now, like most of the captains pushing, it's lost its momentum in one direction, or we're on a decline and it's going to go that way.
You're complicating it. Just go.
Now
Well,
that there is no one on the other side,
Depends on what I want to do. I might want to try and hold it if it's going to continue going that way, or I might want to attack it.
so now that there's no one on the other side, the moment that it attacked Carmen was actually it rolling back up to move down the hill. It seems to be attracted to the eastern side of the corridor.
Right. What I'll attempt to do is try to grab it and stop it from gaining more momentum.
Okay, you want to grapple it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll in athletics check to grapple. You have a firm hold on the back of that thing. It is now grappled. It cannot move.
Okay.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Right. Averine.
I'm going to pop my head out, shoot a firebolt at it. 21 for 13 points of damage.
All right.
Pop my head, or pop back out.
Pijo.
I'm gonna do a similar thing, but with my dagger, my lichy dagger. Pop out, smash, and then pop back. So
18 hits.
All right, and I'm going to Colossus Slayer that. Because this is a Colossus and one more attack. Which I won't get to Colossus Slayer, but that's fine.
Hits.
And then I'm running back to the hallway.
This thing is cracking quite considerably at this point.
Good. It hurt my friend a lot.
Right. Napaka is going to, through its momentum, just simply try to break the grapple and roll away from Tower. Tower, can I have you roll an athletics check?
Again? Yeah.
Yeah, Napaka's going to try and break out of your grapple.
Yeah.
Rolled a 26.
Oh,
Oh,
25.
Oh,
Does
It
no
manages
plus.
to pull
Go
free.
Tower. Go Tower.
It then starts rolling down the hill. Both
does it provoke
Tower
an
and
opportunity
Zola
attack from me?
and Captain, who's underneath Zola, all get to make attacks of opportunity against it.
So I'm carrying the Wand of Wonders. Can I just pull that out and
No,
shoot it at him?
unless you have a specific feat that allows you to
Quick draw.
use objects or cast spells as part of your reaction. No, an opportunity attack is with a melee weapon.
Sure.
13 misses.
Would I where I am or not?
No, only those that are right up against the line, which is Zola on the ceiling, Captain on the floor, and Tower from behind. Tower and Zola do hit it. 15 points of damage in total is enough to just destroy the Colossus before it hits the statue at the end of the corridor. Well done, everyone. Oh.
Great work.
Ow! 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 Ow!
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Did it get you? I'm sorry.
I'm fine.
I did not know. It's
I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good. I'm not as bad as like earlier. It's been a bad day. It's fine.
Where did it hit you on the shoulder?
It kind of it hit my chest, but it's fine. I don't need anyone to give my chest any attention. It's fine. It just hurt.
I
It's
put my
fine.
hand over yours and you feel a little better. 5 points better. It is not a lot better, but it's a little better.
Thank you.
um,
No, 5 points up. As much as Tower's jealous right now, can I have
I
5
thought I was
points?
going. I was going to
So
I will look through the rubble for clues.
Yes.
Yeah, with this destroyed, are we able to move through the hallway now?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
So, you have the Eye of Zaltek in the far left corner,
Thank you.
and what appears to be still that statue on the far right corner. That's all that's in here. Captain Laszlo's senses would trigger treasure when he smells the Eye of Zaltek.
I smell something. It smells like
Smells like 5,000 gold.
smells like 5,000 gold.
Hey, I feed you.
Oh,
Is
yes.
it? It
You're
is. It
muted.
is coming. The smell is coming from the eye. The smell is coming from the eye. And the eye you say is pointy. Like I can see that it is pointy. Are any of the hands designed so that say there would be a natural resting spot for pointy bits? No, okay.
Is this the princess we are supposed to wake? Is this giant head?
It's a big head.
The giant head is actually technically the Napaka, the construct. It's just on the map for some reason.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
But
So
there's
there's
enough
nothing.
light behind it.
What was that?
There's another light behind it.
Yes.
Hey, feed you.
Are we short a light still?
Come here.
What's up?
Behold. Fist size shiny.
Can I touch it? Can I just hold it just a little bit, please, 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 please,
You asking, are
please?
you asking me for permission?
Yeah,
Go on, touch it.
you're showing it.
Just
Okay.
just be careful. I mean, check it out first. Make sure there's nothing
Grab
attached to it. Or just grab it.
You have hold of this. It is a heavy piece of. It's a heavy ruby. It's very valuable.
Can he lift it? Cause he...
Yeah. How very heavy. I'm not a very strong bird.
I think you're going to run out of space soon, but you should be okay.
Okay.
So similar to the
Hide
other,
it in your folds of feathers or something.
It's gonna go right in my leather.
similar to the other item, is there any historical significance to this ruby?
Yes, with your capability of being able to, looking at this, you would know this as the Eye of Zaltek. For centuries, this fist-sized ruby surmounted the Great Pyramid in Nexal, capital city of the Maztecan Empire. The gem is a relic of the cult of Zaltek, and its dagger-like point was plunged into the heart of countless sacrifices. An adventuring band known as the Company of the Yellow Banner entered Omu to find the Eye of Zaltek and was never seen again.
We have the Eye of Zaltek, we have the Navel of the Moon. Do we have the skull of...
We do not have a skull chalice of Chikigakuku.
That's the one. I didn't write that word down.
Shigakari.
So this thing...
What you're telling me is that is a sacrificial dagger that you have in your hand, and it has killed many creatures. Good job.
It looks like I've got two of them now. I got this one and I got this one. I'm a bird on a mission.
You get him, Piju.
Yeah.
So does the ruby does it function as a dagger, or was it just the pommel of the
No,
dagger?
it doesn't. It was just, it's just like the pommel of the dagger. It's spiked, and so it itself can pierce flesh, but it's not going to be as effective as an actual dagger. It's not an alternative. Okay.
Fair enough.
Well,
You have that. Well
Okay.
done there.
we still have not solved the puzzle then.
No, we need to check out the statue. So 3.
Sorry. That was
Oh no!
I forgot that whenever I pop that up, it pops up to everyone as well.
What did I miss? What happened?
Nothing.
No, what happened?
Nothing
What?
at all.
Threatened by another fight. We were threatened by.
I accidentally opened the turn order.
That's awful.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, this is a. You can play with the statue if you like, or go back north, or go through the door to the water.
The fourth arm, there's like a broken spot on the torso where like the arm fell off, right?
Yep.
Laszlo's gonna pick it up and like try to put it back in place. Oh, wait. Did not one of you have some sort of spell to fix things? Do not remember. Do you think there would be any benefit in trying to like fix this thing?
Well, so long as we think it won't come to life and pummel us, then
Well,
that
if
would
it
be
comes to
beneficial.
life, I will break the arm off again. You saw that juggernaut come at me, and I stopped it like. "Grr, grr."
You were
This
very
little
strong. It
statue
was very
could not-
impressive.
This little statue could not be that difficult.
You attempt to mend the arm back onto the statue. It seems to be a case of the statue cannot be mended onto.
No.
The arm can be muted. You can manipulate the arm, but the statue itself cannot be affected by the mending spell.
It was good thinking, Laszlo, but it doesn't seem like this statue takes to my magic.
Well, you are certainly the expert. Just throw the arm over my shoulder. Okay.
Shh. All right.
Tower, did you still want to try? Did we successfully light 3 things?
You had 6 things lit. You had a 7th because there is one behind the Eye of Zaltek, and at the time, Tower also had 2 extra, so that was 9 by itself. No, that would be 10 actually.
Yeah.
That would be 10.
Right.
It didn't seem to affect.
The captain actually ignited his sword, so we had 12.
Didn't seem to affect the statue.
But at the moment, we've got 8. So Tower will ignite his palm again to see if that does anything.
No.
Can I just have a look over the statue to see any one of the hands or the palms they're in a weird fashion? Is any one of those could be ignited in a weird way?
Roll an investigation check. There appears to be diamond dust in the 3 open palms.
Ooh.
Not a lot. Not enough for any sort of collection of diamond dust, but hopefully that gives a hint.
Have you seen this already? It appears to be shiny dust.
Diamond dust is a component of the spell that allows one to transfer someone who's petrified into non-petrification. Perhaps that has something to do with it.
Ooh.
I don't have that spell myself, however.
Roll an intelligence check, Everine.
I feel I jumped to the wrong conclusion.
Okay. The way in which the hands are positioned, the way in which the diamond dust pools in the hands, you get the sense that diamonds in the hands will be turned to dust. Any sort of ruby placed in the hand will crush it. You've heard about this sort of thing previously, in that effectively in here you need to place precious items, precious gems inside the hands to be destroyed.
The ruby.
Well, is there not? I have seen your little chest come boopy boop in and out. Is there not like a lot of things in there we could use that are not, say, a precious ruby of immeasurable historical value?
The fist-size ruby.
Well,
Yeah.
surely there are plenty of things in my chest, so I'll summon the chest out and take a look at all the things that are inside.
You have
You
a
know-
lot of precious gems, I believe.
You can take my whole share and use it for this. I will never need gems or jewelry ever.
Me
in my
neither.
life.
I do not
Okay.
need these precious things.
Do you place 3 of the gems in the statue's hands?
We have 30 gemstones that are worth 50 gold pieces each. Can I take 3 of those and drop them in the hands? So I'll say, Piju, remember when you found that overturned cart and there was a bag with shinies in it? Is it okay if I take 3 of those and put them in this fella's hands?
Okay.
Do
Okay.
we not think it's the ruby that's opposite side of the room? I know you love it. I know you love it, but we could stop. We could not throw away other shinies.
It wants 3 and then 3 again and then 3 again. There is only one ruby.
Yeah, that's what he says.
I just wonder because it's a fist-sized ruby and it's a big one, and I that's fine. Just
Well, if these
The
don't work,
3 diamonds, the 3 gems that you place in the hands immediately turn to dust, and one of the hands starts to glow.
Oh.
yeah.
All right, I'll do 3 again.
Okay. 3 turn to dust. Second hand begins to glow.
I'll do 3 more.
Perhaps the other, before we put in the last 3, everyone could go to a safe distance and I will put in the 3. So that if, say, a giant rosary full of fireballs goes off all at once, we do not suffer the harmful consequences.
You're very brave for volunteering. Here's the gemstones. See you later.
Perfect. Finally, one of you understands how this is supposed to work.
You place the last of the gems in the hands. They dissolve.
That sounds
The
like-
last hand.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
The last hand turns and begins to glow, and then who has the Eye of Zaltek? Pijo.
Right?
It disappears
yes.
from Pijo's hands,
I disappeared
And-
I knew it.
reappears in the 4th hand of the statue.
What happened? Laszlo. Where did
The,
what?
the whole purpose of this was to avoid the wagon.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Well, can we get it back now? Can you just,
The clue is solved.
Right,
keep-
I want my shiny
I
back.
pick it up and throw it to Pijo. There he
Grab it with
is.
my spectacular dexterity.
Okay.
What are completionists? We want to make sure I mean, except for the floor above us, that small detail, we're gonna just ignore that.
Fine.
99% is fine, and except for the entire map of Cholt that we didn't explore.
No, just fine. It's fine.
Well, that was an incredible waste of time. The
And shinies, an incredible waste of
Well-
shinies.
Well, we're up. We're up
Oh.
shinies. I mean, in the quantity of shinies, we're down, but in the value, in the quality of shinies, we're up.
Quality
Peter,
teams.
you can have mine. It's fine. It's not a problem.
Thank you.
It's
But you
okay.
can keep them. You can keep them.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I got a flying castle. Don't you worry.
He's so shiny.
I know.
So, if you guys go north and begin to explore, I'm actually going to reveal a lot more about the space in front of you than what you can physically see. Do please pay attention to the walls,
Oh, whoa. Holy moly.
just because it makes things a little bit easier to do it that way. So, in front of you, Zola, as you move upwards, is a pentagonal room which appears to have a whole bunch of mold and rot along the floor, and a single plinth in the center. That's pretty much about it, really.
The walls surrounding it, do they go all the way up? Can you not see past them?
Correct. Floor to ceiling, but there is a slight gap between the floor and between the top of this thing and the ceiling.
And I can observe. Can I observe the water? Or
Yes,
there's no
you can
water?
see through the gap that this thing appears to be sat on top of a gear. Like, you can just look through that gap. Where is it? Through here. And you'd be able to see that it's on gears on the floor. You could maybe even look through that gap and notice there's another one just to the left of it that's also on gears on the water.
Hey, Tower.
Yes.
You're like an actual druid, right?
What makes you think I am not?
No, you just never said it clearly yet before. Never said I'm a druid, but you do druidy things, so I didn't know.
I do not tend to associate with names. We just do these
That's
things.
fair.
If you
I
wish
just
to
want-
call me a druid, then yes, I am a druid.
No, I just wanted to make sure that understanding plants was within your skill set. Yeah.
I can talk to them if you wish.
Well,
In our normal practices, we can talk to animals and plants and glean some understanding from them. But to actually physically talk to them, I need a spell that I have not prepared this day.
well, no worries. That's not what I was going to bring up. The thing is that this room ahead is covered in mold, and I don't know if this is like what kind of mold this is. Do you know what kind of mold this is?
I can take a look if I see if I recognize this type of mold. Do I recognize this type of mold?
History, nature, survival, any of those kinds of checks.
That is one taken. So I was probably
Nope.
It's just a bunch of rotten plant and compost, really. I mean, you could probably take this and use it to farm and grow stuff out of it. But that's about it.
I'm going to talk to the moss. Do you wish to harm us? Or is this something else that you... he can talk to plants and creatures, but he can't really, like, it's like a conversation.
He's not good at conversation.
It's like, do you wish to harm us? It can understand me.
It can understand you, but you can't understand.
I can't understand
right?
it. Yeah.
So the rot twitches just a little bit when you talk to it. You know, just a little.
Can I get an understanding of
Twitch
that?
twice.
If that's twitch twice, that's what. Did it appear to be aggressive or?
Roll an insight check at disadvantage because this is difficult. 15. Okay, that was a very timid kind of moss and rot.
Okay.
It was a timid twitch.
The timid plant.
We will try not to walk all over you too much, and just give it a pat, and it's mainly just to see if this is going to hurt me or not.
Okay.
And touch it.
It doesn't hurt you.
We will try not to disturb you too much. We wish to just pass through, and then you can do what you need to do.
Being closer to this area, you can see that there's a corridor that leaves it. There's a tunnel that goes off to the northwest direction, and also in the center of this, that plinth, that column, is actually a strange sprinkler system. You can see that it's dripping with a bit of water, and it every few minutes or so, it'll just turn a little bit and spray some water onto the rot and the moss, just making it worse.
Are you hiding something beneath yourselves?
Twitch.
I like to think that the baby's noises are what the sounds that the moss is making right now.
The moss does say, "No way, bro. I would never harm you, dude, bro."
Well, you can always trust the dude, bro.
Yeah.
That's an automatic sign of reliability.
I'll speak to Zoe. I do not believe this moss is harmful, but I think it might be here to hide something.
Okay. Maybe I can stay along the walls and check out the rest of the area.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
You can do. If you lead off along the leftmost wall, you'll get to a point where you can glimpse out of the corridor, the gap. You can see the stairs and some boats. You look past, you can see there is another something to the north of here. But that's about all you can see. Looking through it, though, straight through is a corridor that leads back into a stone structure, away from the water. Now, this space, an acidic stench seems to fill this pentagonal chamber. Its exits are on opposite sides, but the walls are covered with riveted sheets of iron. Okay, so huge sheets of iron that have been riveted to the wall. In the center, you can see a large puddle of gray slime. What do you do?
Okay, guys, I'm pretty sure that this chamber that I'm in now is okay to enter. You might hug the walls, as I don't know what that sprinkler's doing. There is a passageway this way to the west. It looks like we're floating on giant gears, from what I can see from the spaces in between. And this looks like our only option. There's metal plates along the walls in this second chamber, and then there's just a giant puddle of that stuff in the middle, and it smells really acidic in here.
Okay.
Would it not be... If we're on gears, then there must be a way to turn these rooms, would you think?
Maybe. I don't see anything around that would do that, though.
Well, what is that column in the middle that you said sprinkler? Sprinkling?
It is providing water for the moss. But something grows. I wonder
I
if
can
this...
hear the moss. It is making noises. But it has gone suddenly quiet.
Would any of us have a history of knowing about mechanics such as this, depending on their background?
I would say anyone that's been around any sort of industrial city could have experienced large gears like this. There is an entire religion towards Gond that seems to specialize around invention, but you would know that there has to be some sort of controlling mechanism somewhere nearby. What that controlling mechanism is, it's hard to tell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could I squeeze out through the space in between the rooms?
Yes, you can.
Well, I think I'm gonna do that and just get a lay of the land from the outside.
Okay. Now, the chamber that you're in is about 50 foot higher than the surface of the water. The water is grey and dark and dirty. Can't see through the surface of the water. Where are you going, Pijo?
Pijo, do not disturb the water. That thing might be down here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna disturb the water. I just want to fly around.
Pijo, where the hell are you going? Come back here.
I'm just looking. Do you want to come?
stealthy.
Oh, I will be stealthy. Okay.
Do not make a lot of noise.
You guys are making this sound like a bad idea.
No, it is a good idea. Reconnaissance is helpful.
Well, you saying it makes it sound even worse.
It is. But
Please remember, I was part of a large group, and everyone but me died going ahead.
But we.
So-
Yeah.
But I survived, so this is an excellent idea. Please carry on.
So what I'm looking at right now, at least from where I am, the I guess corridor that we came through. How is that above the water, or is that level with the water?
It is level with the water, but the water is flowing, so it could go underneath.
Okay, so if I wanted to, I could swim under that and come out the other side. I don't want to. Don't worry. And I'm assuming, is everything about that high, right on the edge of the water?
Yes. Actually, sorry. The walkways are slightly above the water, just high enough that these boats that are outside here could slide underneath, but no one with anything outside the boat or above the lip of the boat would be able to pass by underneath here.
And
everything's at water level.
And are the walkways and even the chambers that we're in? Now I know you said they go all the way up to the top. Are they roofed, or is it all the way to the 50-foot top of the chamber?
Open to the 50-foot top of the chamber, and then slightly separated from the ceiling to allow freedom of movement.
Okay.
Pijo, how close to the surface of the water are you? Right now?
I mean, I'm saying probably like a good 40 feet up. I'm really just trying to get a lay to see what's around here, since we know that there's these gears, and to see what's going on. I'm not really adventuring out, but I want to see what we could be contending with on this end of the.
So you get a glimpse from this, from squeezing through, at just the exterior of all of this, these passageways.
Okay. And I'm going to pop back in and just relay. There's water everywhere. We're right above it. There's boats. I can't imagine those boats are good, but I feel like we're going to have to take them at some point. It's one of those bad things that you got to do. I also got a bad feeling out there. Maybe it was all of you guys telling me not to go out there, except for Captain Laszlo telling me that it was a good idea. That might have been the bad feeling.
It is a wonderful idea. Please carry onward.
But I didn't see anything bad. We're just in a big lake in the middle of a dungeon. Nothing weird about that. Nope.
So in order to, like, the tunnels, just so you know, that connect both connect from one pentagon to another pentagon, are lowered. So they are like roofed off at about 10 foot high. So for you to get down, that's you dropping down, right?
I'm entering back into here with them through the.
You could technically drop in from the roof though, then, because there would be a gap.
Yeah.
Yep, you can do. I need him to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Well, I get +2. So.
You guys are being watched.
Oh, criminy.
Okay. Sounds good.
No, that doesn't sound good.
So
That's a 9.
I'm looking
Oh.
out. What is this?
That is a cage that is submerged in the water. Half in, half out, as best as you can see. Well, you can't see the area below, but it looks like a fishing cage or something like that. Or a feeding cage, rather.
Oh no.
Like someone would be inside the cage and be protected from whatever it's feeding?
Yes. As long as the thing that's feeding it has a mouth bigger than the cage, or bigger than the openings in the cage, it usually is safe from the things that are outside. So yes, it would work in exactly that way.
Almost the mouth is so much bigger than the cage that it can just chomp it all. So yeah, I got a 9 on that save. Does that do? Is there anything that I am now aware or not aware of?
We'll
Or am I
talk
just-
after this.
Oh. Okay. Great.
All right, so we're continuing to explore, right? Nothing has happened or changed.
Yes, Pijo, you need to explore. Go.
Okay.
We will
fine.
hug the walls, I suppose, and follow Zola.
And Obolaka not wanting anything bad to happen to her host brain wouldn't have given me advantage on that, right?
Obolaka goes quiet.
Okay. I'm just flying around. You guys want to come with me? Obolaka is being really quiet.
Nope. You don't get to say that.
Zola's
real
usually the
quick,
one who
real
scouts for
quick.
us.
So,
Are
real
you
quick, just
telling
to-
me this, or
I'm
is there a
telling you-
voice in my head telling me this?
okay.
Or
You are completely magically charmed by the aboleth until
Yeah.
the aboleth dies, or until it is on a different plane of existence from you.
right?
Okay. The charmed target is under the aboleth's control, can't take reactions, and the aboleth and the target can communicate telepathically with each other over any distance. Whenever the charmed target takes damage, the target can repeat the saving throw. On a success, the effect ends.
Okay.
No more than once every 24 hours, the target can repeat the saving throw when it is at least 1 mile away from the aboleth.
Okay. So right now, what do I have to be doing? What am I being
So,
compelled to do?
you are being compelled to move through the corridor and go out through the exit.
All right. Well, I'm going out through the exit.
Well, Pijo has the right idea. Let us follow him.
Pijo, you're acting suddenly reckless again. What has happened to you?
What?
You need to do everything you can to ensure that they do not suspect anything.
Okay.
Carefully pick our way around the gray goo.
Can I quickly look at one of these riveted panels to see if I can glean what their purpose might be?
Roll an investigation check.
Oh, it'd be my pleasure to do so. $28.
All right. With your 28, you can see that these riveted panels once, not anymore, they have worn down and are no longer capable of doing so, but the riveted patterns once hid little holes in the wall, like poison dart holes. But the way the metal is aged and twisted and bent, it has closed itself off. So it was a trap, but is no longer a trap.
Tap Piju on the shoulder.
Yep.
Hey, let me go ahead of you here. Looks like there's some sneaky investigating to do.
Okay, I'll come with you. I think it would be prudent. No, Peter wouldn't say prudent. I think it would be good to have backup on this.
Okay, but could you stay by the door for me just until I get done?
I can try, but I don't want you to get hurt. I want to protect you.
Aw.
So, a 4-foot high, 7-foot wide iron lectern in the middle of the room is like a control panel. Set into the control panel is a gold lever on one side with a star-shaped handle, and then 2 dials, one in red, one in blue, and then above those 2 buttons, one of red and one of blue. On the wall past it, you can see a series of engravings and images. These images look like 3 pentagons on gears in different orientations. Above the central one, or below the central one rather, you have a light that is currently glowing. Above all of those 5 images, carvings on the wall, are 3 large tubes. To help clarify, there's the control panel image that you
Okay.
stand in front of.
Cool. I'm gonna check for traps and then slither in if it's clear.
So quite clearly, those big holes seem to have some form of slime that has fallen out of them, that almost is dripping out of them or has dripped out of them, indicating that they do shoot something, and they are directed directly towards the control panel.
Okay. But not at the door.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Fretful Unk thinks she can figure out what the controls do by studying them if her host allows her an hour of study and contemplation. Shrewd Papazotl asserts that the blue controls are helpful and the red controls are baleful.
I am going to roll up to the...
The blue controls are helpful because blue is good. The red controls have to do with hay and making hay bales. Making bales of hay. I do not think it applies to our situation. I really do not think we should use them. But the blue one, that is the way to go.
So I'm going to hang upside down here and see if I can get a hint of what is in those pipes. The residue. Does it smell like poison?
Okay. Yes, it does smell like poison.
Okay.
Does it smell like treasure?
No. What does that smell like?
Although
Hams?
the gold leather smells like treasure.
Ooh.
You can smell the gold leather. It is made out of solid gold.
Ooh.
So the material that the pipes are made out of, is it metal or is it ceramic?
The tunnels are actually ceramic. They're stone. Looking at these things, they look identical to the grey slime that you've seen in other places. So this would shoot that psychic slime out at you.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can break the top half of those pipes and clog them with themselves.
Okay, roll an athletics check. Totally possible. Nice. All right, you do manage to break those pipes, clogging them up. Should they want to shoot, they're going to clog up.
Great.
Zola, you're making a bunch of noise again up there. What's going on?
Making it safe for you guys. Standard operating procedure.
You're the best.
Do we just see the pipes like start to like crunch in and stuff? It's an unseen force.
Strictly speaking, these are attacks, so no. You would see Zola.
Okay, I think it's safe in here.
Well, Avarine, you should use the control panel, but again, the blue is the good one, and that lever smells like molasses. It is very sweet.
So I feel like if given enough time, I can work out the fineries of this control mechanism, and maybe an hour to study it, and I guess maybe that these pictographs on the wall indicate different configurations in order of progression. That would be the successful solution.
Well, you figure it out. This is your area of expertise. You complete it and let us know when you are ready. But again, you have the hint that the blue one is the best one. So you should be able to do it in less than an hour.
So do you spend an hour trying to figure this out?
If I am permitted.
Okay. After an hour, everyone else can gain the benefits of a short rest if they wish to take one. Avarine, after an hour, Unk concludes that the controls are a mystery and should be left alone.
What a jerk. Unk. No wonder everyone hates him. He's so
Indecisive.
You know, I really thought I had the knack of it for a second there, but it's a lot more confusing than I initially thought. So I'm really perplexed. I mean, I reckon I could start with experimentation, but I don't know what the consequences of failed experiments will do.
Carmen, Laszlo, you guys should probably not be in the cog when we're messing with it.
No, we wouldn't. No, we'd come
Yeah,
to
yes, the last hour we have been wandering around, but I guess now we would want to be in the same room. That is a good idea.
Pijo, Pijo,
Time for
I think it's a really good idea for you to turn the red dial to the left.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn the red dial to the left.
I slap his hand as he. What are you doing, Piju?
It seems like a good idea. What? We got to do something. You're not coming to any conclusion.
That is a good point. I will spin the blue dial to the right and hit the blue button. And then pull the lever.
Okay.
Guys, don't
So-
touch anything right now.
A lot of things happen in one go. Pijo, you turn the red dial to the left. As soon as you let go of it, it snaps back to the center. What was that, Carmen?
Karma, if he starts playing with dolls, once he's finished, you put him on the floor and sit on him.
Oh, okay.
'Cause she's super
Absolutely.
strong now. Yeah.
Grab hold of him.
That cause damage.
You've got him down. No problem.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't cause
No,
problem.
no
But
damage.
you are guaranteed to be grappled. Okay. The moment the red thing snapped to the left, you opened a two-way telepathic communication between the aboleth and everyone in the room.
Ooh.
So everyone hears a, oh, hello again.
Silence. Oh, I can't have it. I
You
do
don't-
have it.
Do you?
Oh, it's telepathic.
Telepathic, so it won't make a difference.
Oh,
At that same moment, who was it?
Captain Laszlo.
Captain Laszlo turned the dial to the right.
And then
Turn
I
the
hit
blue
the blue
dial to the
button,
right.
and then I pulled the lever.
Okay. All right.
He doesn't even have this going on, and he's doing all this stupid stuff.
When you
Oh,
turned the
no.
blue dial to the right, you let go, it would snap back to the middle. The green light on the wall shifted one over to the right. You hit the blue button, the entire place began to shudder and shake, and the ground shifts one direction over.
Oh.
You'll now see that everything is rotated ever so slightly. Certain corridors have opened up, certain corridors have closed. And then you pulled on the golden lever.
Yes.
Okay. At that point, you watch as the currently closed up and clogged up pipes start dripping a little bit more of the slime. But because they've been closed up, no ill effects there. It seems the gold lever is there to activate the slime.
Well, see, look, I did something that didn't cause problems, and this guy here, you sitting on me.
Yeah, I am still sitting
I
on
don't
me.
appreciate this.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
hearing a,
not
I'm
yet.
hearing a
Sorry,
voice
sorry.
suddenly.
What is this? It's voice in my head.
So, the fact that all of you are connected telepathically with the aboleth does mean that the aboleth now knows your greatest desires. If the aboleth, well, yeah, it now knows your greatest desires. So, between now and next week, please send them to me, because that would be useful to have. You all sense familiar. I can't see you right now, which means you're in Mr. Withers' private room.
Are you a sailor?
So, no,
Oh, good. Thank goodness.
we've met before, though.
I can neither confirm nor deny whatever it is you're suggesting.
Do I recognize this voice as at all, or is this just a new voice to me right now? I'm not clear on how the charm works. Like if he knows that there's a voice in there, or if it's just.
In essence, the way this works is
Yeah.
you are completely under the control of the aboleth. You cannot act if it is against the will of the aboleth. Okay. So you would recognize its voice.
Okay.
The tower having already connected to it through the slime, would the presence of the connection be the same? So
Sounds familiar.
so tower would confirm and go that it is the aboleth.
What do you all hope to get out of being here? I'm intrigued.
We kind of want to break the soulmonger. Is that we found out that a lot of things that are in here kind of want to do that too? Are you into that?
I don't know anything about the Soulmonger.
Okay.
But
Well, it's a machine that we think Sararak made. It's feeding some kind of dead giant baby fetus thing, and it's kind of destroying the world. There's like a giant curse all over the planet now, and it's reclaiming
I
people
remember
that...
seeing that creature when it first came in.
Whoa. Could you tell us anything about it?
I could tell you anything you want to know about it.
Oh, I think he's
You
part
have
of
to
the
do
guys.
something for me, though.
Well, what do we got to do?
Us killing it would be doing something for you, because once that creature feeds on enough souls, it will destroy the entire planet, including you.
But what do you want in the meantime?
So the world
It's in
ending
your best
is not a good
interest.
enough excuse for me.
Hmm?
The Aboleth says the world ending is not a good enough excuse for me or incentive. What I'm intrigued in is I want to know everything about you. I'd like to become friends with you. I'd like you to perhaps leave this place with instruction from me. We can part this place as allies.
So Carmen will adapt a 2-year-old philosophy and go, why?
Can I do an insight
But
check?
no,
on
but
him?
why?
I just want to do an insight check to see if he's telling. If I feel like he's telling the truth.
I think he
So,
would be. There's no reason to lie.
Roll. Okay.
Wish I had the other one.
Okay.
What do you need outside of this team?
I need expansion opportunities. I enjoy my time here, but there are larger seas. All I wish is for someone to permit me to come with them out of the tomb. That's all.
Ooh.
And I'll tell you everything you could ever hope to know.
Our Doa friend here.
I'll volunteer that. We'll let you go.
Our Doa friend here has the potential to plane shift you to the water plane. If you
You could go to the water
if you-
plane.
if you appeared yourself, then you could go there and she will cast it.
And you have a whole plane to yourself.
I know how magic works in here.
Oh,
I know it's not going to work.
you're a smart cookie, aren't you?
I am.
Does
So
this not
it's quite
work?
simple. If you just
What happens to you if you try to do this?
Yeah, I'm not going to give you that information
No,
for free.
you won't. You
We're going to
won't.
make a deal. You want information I have, I will. I'll share it. You agree to be a vessel for me out of here.
What does that mean?
Vessel. It's not a good word.
It means a container that permits me access out of here.
Yeah, but I saw you before. You're really big. I don't know if you're gonna fit in any of us. With all due respect, sir, ma'am.
Quiet.
And we are already contained with other things right
Yes.
now.
I do not need to inhabit you. I simply need your agreeance to let me leave when you leave.
Would you take any of us over, and would you hurt any of us?
No and no.
Can I-
Inside check.
Yeah.
Inside checks. Yep.
Come on.
Do my. I don't want to. I don't want to.
An 18 and a 16. Let's see how the Aboleth does.
Oh.
How the Aboleth does on his totally honest roll that isn't actually for any kind of deception.
Is this persuasion?
Totally honest.
It's an honesty roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yuck.
Persuasion.
Well, Pijo thinks this is a great idea.
Wow.
No, that wasn't right. That's
And that
Absalom.
That
that's
was
fine.
absolutely
That's
right.
fine. That's fine. You could not talk us round. You're not charismatic enough. Let's have a sing off.
You can tell. So the bonus would actually, because the actual skill he was doing, the bonus on top would push it past Carmen's insight. Tower and Zola would sense there is some malevolent essence to the first one, not to the harming, but to the first one.
Taking over.
He intends not to harm, but he does intend to take control.
Okay. And does he need to take control right now, or is this like we could pick him up on the way out?
On the way out.
Oh, okay.
What if the vessel isn't any of us? What if we go get you something?
Your own being.
Done. I'll do it.
Okay.
We have a vessel.
No,
I
it
know
is
that's
unclear.
how.
It is a little unclear to me what we are getting in exchange for the bargain, other than your promise not to try and kill us. Is that what I am understanding?
I'll tell you everything I know about the Atropal,
Oh, that could
the
be
level
handy.
below.
We have a vessel upstairs, do we not? Fake Shago is still in the tomb.
He's by the door.
Dandy, I forgot about him.
I was kind of thinking
He's
of
in-
something like that. Yeah, a
He's
construct.
by the door.
He didn't
Okay.
leave. The door shut.
There are hundreds of doors inside this place. He is by one of them. I do not remember exactly where.
You weren't with us at the time because you were, we found you on the level below. So don't worry, it's fine.
Ah,
All right. So, as you've told this thing that there is a vessel available for it somewhere higher up in the tomb next to a door, we're going to end the session there as it's going to go looking.
Well, it's in the
So,
water and it can't fly, so it's
chitty
fine.
chitty chat
It
chat.
can't,
Chitty chat.
but there may be other things that it can do, like swim up the water to who knows. We'll see.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us this week in Crituitous RP. Our heroes will continue to explore the tomb next week as they gather more information from the aboleth and make their way to the lowest level of the dungeon. They're on level 5. There's a 6th one left to go. Join us next week. For those of us in the UK, please note that next week's session, because of time zone differences, will be an hour earlier than
Yes.
normal in the UK.
We get an extra hour
Actually.
tonight.
Do we?
Yes.
Oh, we don't get that for a
Right.
few weeks, do we?
So join us next week, guys. Share us with all your friends and see us then. Bye.
Bye.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.